Hello and welcome to my Yuri collection tour. In this video, obviously, I'm going to be going over my entire manga collection with all the manga art books and light novels and stuff that I have. And as always, we're starting under here with the light novels, moving on to the Japanese volumes here. And then we'll be going over all of the shelves and then finally finishing over there with the art books. Chairs in the middle of the room because I need to stand on it to reach the higher shelves. Oh, Owen. He's probably going to want back in like 10 minutes. So anyway, let's get on with the collection tour, starting with the light novels. It might be a little bit dark under here, but I can't really do anything to make the light better. So hopefully it'll be alright. There is light coming from the window, so I hope it won't be too bad. But the main bookcases, the lighting should be alright. Anyway, let's get on with it. First up in the light novel section is Violet the Barrier Master Volume 1. I haven't read it. Once again, as always, I haven't read most of my light novels. I've read like 95% of my manga, but right, maybe less than 50% of my light novels. But I have read the manga for this one, and I do really like the manga, so I've been putting off getting more of the light novels until I actually read the first one, which is what I tend to do most of the time, apart from with the next couple of series. So I have My Happy Marriage 1 to 8. I think 9 might be out, I'm not sure. But I've read 1, 2, 3 and 4. I haven't read 5, 6, 7 and 8. I know the anime covers up to the end of volume 6. So yeah, I love My Happy Marriage, and I tend to keep up with the light novel for that one, even though I'm behind on reading it. It is very good. And same with Sugar Apple Fairy Tale, which is probably my favourite light novel series. And I have 1 to 7. I have ordered 8, but my order hasn't been dispatched yet, so it's not here yet. But I've read 1 and 2, and the anime, I think, covers up to 6. And I really love the anime for Sugar Apple Fairy Tale, which is why I want to keep up to date with the light novels. And looking forward to getting to the point past where the anime ended at volume 7. I also have this keyring of Anne and Charles as cats, which I hang in front of it off the Death Note, which is what that is. And then I have Your Former 1, 2, 3. I love the manga for this one. I've read the first 2. There's only 3. I haven't got volume 3 yet. I think it is out. But I'm hoping to read this soon. Maybe next year. Some point. Eventually. I really did like the manga, and I do want to watch the anime too. I just also haven't got out of that because I think it's on Samsung TV Plus, which is a subscription service I don't have. So I don't know how I'm going to actually watch it. I will find some means of doing so. Oh yeah, it's a sci-fi series, like detective mystery series, and it's very good. I would recommend just maybe first checking out the manga, and then if you like it, trying the light novels, which is what I'll be doing once I finally get around to reading them. And then I have Agents of the Four Seasons Volume 1, Dance of Spring Part 1. This is another one I really love, the manga adaptation. I've read the first 2. And there's also an anime adaptation coming for this one too, which I'm really looking forward to. But yeah, I will get to it at some point. As I said, I'm very enjoying the manga. Then the Other Words books depend on the bean counter. This is another one where I read the manga, but haven't got around to reading the light novel. Festival of Heresies. This is like a horror mystery. It's the first one in a series. I know the second one is out. Second one goes by a different name. It's not called Festival of Heresies. But yeah, it's horror. I like horror, so I thought I'd give that one a go. And I like mysteries as well, but haven't read it yet. Victoria of Many Faces. This is another one where I enjoyed the manga. Haven't read the light novel yet. Movie Ribs in the Cat's Eyes. This one doesn't have a manga, but it sounded like my type of light novel, like drama, sad light novel, but again, haven't read it. I have actually read some of my light novels, but they're on lower shelves. I Can Have Your Back. This is a BL light novel, which I think is also like a fantasy series. The main reason I picked this one up was for the cover. I just really liked the cover. And yeah, I haven't read it yet, but I heard good things about it. It is very thick. I think it might be 2 in 1, but I'm not sure. I think there is more volumes out. Then How to Win Her Heart on the Ninth Try. This is like a romance, office romance. Haven't read that one yet either. And then we have some more like sad dramas. 3 Days of Happiness. You Can't See the Snow, and The God of Yokohama Station. I haven't read any of them. I just like this kind of light novel. We'll get to them at some point. Yokai Attack. This isn't a light novel. This is just a book about different yokais and kind of like a guidebook. Then Ascendance of a Bookworm Part 1 and Part 2. I have read Part 1, though I have read these 3. I haven't read Part 2, but I have watched the anime which covers up to the end of Part 2, and it is getting a new season which is going to cover at least some of Part 3. So I will be looking forward to watching it, because most likely I would have watched that before I even start Part 2. But yeah, I really like Ascendance of a Bookworm. It's one of the few isekai that I do very enjoy. Moving down, these shelves might be a bit darker. So we have The Disappearance of Hatsune Miku. This is based off the song. It was okay. I like Vocaloid and Miku, so picked it up. But yeah, it was just okay. The Disappearance of Hatsune Miku is one of my more famous songs. So yeah, I have heard it several times before. I play the Miku game on PS4 and Switch, and that's one of the songs in the game. Obviously, it's definitely one of the harder ones to do. It's a rhythm game. And then we have Green God Fantasy and Ash 1 and 2. I have read these years ago. These are like, I've had these since I was a teenager. I have not picked up any more yet, but I did enjoy these first 2 volumes, and again I have also seen the anime, which I think the anime covers these first 2 volumes, so I don't know what happens past that point. Yeah, Toradora, I have read this one as well, and I've also seen the anime for this one. Again, I've had this one a long time, and I haven't got round to picking any more up, but it is a well-known shonen high school romance series. And yeah, I watched the anime again, probably as a teenager, and I really liked it, so picked up the light novel. Just haven't picked up any more past volume 1. Boogie Pop Phantom is a mystery series. This is the first 3. I haven't read it because I haven't got around to it yet. Raven at the Inner Palace. This is one where I really enjoyed the anime, and so picked up the light novel, just the first one, and then haven't read it, so haven't continued it yet. But if you like sort of like things that have like not necessarily a similar plot, but like a similar setting to the Apothecary Diaries or other series that take place in like Chinese imperial palaces and stuff like that, you might end up enjoying this. Takes place in a Chinese imperial palace, and she is she's known as the Raven Consort, and she kind of solves issues. People come to her with issues, and the prince or the king, the emperor, comes to her with issues too. And although she's a consort, she doesn't like do any of the roles of a consort, and she has like an interesting backstory as well. And it was a very good anime. and I would say recommend it if you like sort of a Pocket Diary sort of setting series. It's not necessarily the same plot, because this one has nothing to do with like medical stuff or poisons or anything like that. It's just, it does have like supernatural elements to it though. Yeah, I said I'd really like to get into the light novel, I just haven't yet. But yeah, the anime was very good. And it does, I don't think it has a manga adaptation. Seventh Time Loop, I read the first volume of the manga and thought it was okay enough to start the light novel, but I haven't read it yet. I do actually want to try watching the anime for this one first and then deciding whether I actually want to read and collect the light novels or not. I've since on-hauled the manga because I'd had it a while and I just hadn't felt the need to continue it, so I needed the space, so it went. Not that I hated it or didn't enjoy it or anything, I gave it like a 7. I just never felt compelled to continue it, so I kept the light novel because obviously it would be the better option if I did end up enjoying it, the anime, which I really like the anime to get dubbed because that would encourage me to actually get around to watching it. I will watch it subbed, but I prefer watching dub. So we'll see when I actually get to that. Then there's my Yoru Sumino collection. I really like her stuff. She's like one of my favourite light novel authors. And I haven't read them all yet, but she does the kind of like sad dramas that I tend to enjoy. And not all of them are that sad, like this one wasn't. It did have like those hard-hitting moments, but it wasn't like completely sad or anything. And I'm so glad they're bringing a lot more of her works into English because I really want to read them all. So the first is I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, which is obviously the most famous one. This one got an anime adaptation and a manga adaptation. Then there's I Had That Same Dream Again. This one's my favourite. If you do want to check this one out, it does have a manga adaptation as well, which is also very good. It's a brilliant adaptation. It covers pretty much everything. So yeah, love this one. And then At Night I Become a Monster, I have read this one. And I have read I Have a Secret as well. I Am Blue and Pale and Fragile, I have not read. I Will Forget That Feeling Someday, or Ripping Someone Open Only Makes Them Bleed. So yeah, I really need to go out of these 3, and there's a bunch more coming out soon too. And I know this one's got a manga adaptation coming out soon as well. Then is the stuff by my Hachimoku. Have The Tunnel of Summer, The Exit of Goodbye, Wait for Me Yesterday in Spring, An Autumn in Amber, and the Minoza Confessions. None of these I have read, but her work seems like it would be something I'd enjoy. It's like mystery dramas. At least these 3 are. Anyway, this one's more of just a drama. And then we have Hello World. This one I bought because I wanted to watch the film, but I couldn't find it anywhere. So I thought next best thing would be to read the light novel. I've since found the film. I haven't watched it, but I will probably watch the film first and decide whether I want to read the light novel or not. The Case Study of Julia Richard. This is a mystery series that revolves around like a jeweler and mysteries revolving around gems and stuff. It's also, I think it's a BL. It might just be like seem like a BL, but not actually a BL. But I think this one is actually a BL. These definitely are. Oops. Pick them up in a minute. Yes, No, or Maybe, and then Yes, No, or Maybe, Centre of the World. I have read this one. I have not read this one, which is why I haven't picked up the other ones. It's a BL following I think he's a news reporter from what I remember, and a stop motion animator, where he's doing a news report on him, but he's very cynical news reporter who pretends to be like an upbeat person up to his broken heart, but maybe just there. Then Royal Soldier, Lustful Beast, and The Obsessed Mage, and his beloved Statue Bride. She can't Resist His Seductive Voice. These are both steamship. I haven't read either of them. And The Saint's Magic Powers Omnipotent 1 to 3. I have read 1 and 2. I haven't read 3, which is why I haven't got more than that. And this is another one where I've watched the anime. And that's Albert. He's from Saint's Magic Power. So yeah, that is it for those two shelves. And this shelf might end up being like a bit darker, but I'm gonna try and make it so it's like seeable. So this technically isn't a light novel, it's just classed as a novel. I have read this. I didn't read this particular copy because I read it back on my Kindle when I was a teenager. I used to have one. I don't have a Kindle anymore. But yeah, I read it digitally on there. I don't tend to enjoy reading things digitally. I prefer physical copies, but I did used to have a Kindle as a teenager, and that's one of the things I read on it. But since I really liked it, I picked up a physical copy. Then The Devotion of the Surgery Room. This is like from the Bond and Book series. This is number 1 in that series. And it's about a guy who can speak with books, and he has to solve like mysteries revolving around books and stuff like that. I bought this because I really liked the sound of Volume 2, but then I found out it was a Volume 2, so I thought I'd better read the first one first, and I just haven't got around to it yet. The first one's called The Long Last Goodbye of the Lost Bookstore, or something like that. This one is a horror. It is Yami Horror. This is by Mizuki Tsujimura, who wrote the novel for A School Frozen in Time and Lonely Castle in the Mirror. And yeah, this is a horror work, and I liked both School Frozen in Time and Lonely Castle in the Mirror. I know Lonely Castle in the Mirror does have an English release I don't think it's by a manga publisher though, but I do want to pick that one up. Haven't read this one yet, just picked it up because I like the author. Same with this. Anime Supremacy, it's also the same person. This one's about 3 women working in the animation industry, and it sounded quite interesting. Then Uncanny, this is Junji Ito's autobiography. I haven't read this yet, but it seems interesting the way he gets his ideas from stories and stuff. And Stitches is a short horror. It's short stories by Junji Ito. Did the art, but not the stories. I have read this one. It took like half an hour. It's very not a long read. The short stories are quite short, and then most of the pages are taken up by illustrations. Then Under the Oak Tree. This is a Korean novel. I've also got the manhwa adaptation, but I have not read this one. I have read the manhwa, but this one has nice sprayed edges, and it was quite nice looking, so I picked it up, and now I can't get it back on the shelf. Then I have the Apothecary Diaries Volume 1. This is another one where I've watched the anime and also read some of the manga, and I enjoyed it. So I don't know when I'm going to get round to reading the light novel, or whether I'll just stick to being an anime only, or maybe I'll just continue the manga. We'll see. I do like it though, but it's not like my favourite series. I did prefer Raven at the Inner Palace and The Eccentric Doctor over this one. Then this is The Abandoned Heiress Gets Rich with Alchemy and Scores an Enemy General. That's a fantasy romance. I haven't read it. Get up there. This one is another Korean one. This is Fairy Tale for Wizards. This one I have read. I read it a long time ago though. I remember it being he's a wizard and she was like his apprentice, and he took her in when she was little and then sent her away to be raised by someone else, and she had a terrible upbringing because of that. And then he learns about the treatment she's had, but this family kind of decides to take her back. But now she's like 18, I think. Then Nier Automata, long story short, I have read this. This is just a retelling of the story from the game. It wasn't very good. I wouldn't recommend it. I'd recommend just playing the game. And this one's a short story collection, which I haven't read, but some of the stories in there are by the creator of the game. So that one might be better. Then Katana Gatari's Sword Tale. I bought this thinking it was this, and I just haven't read it. I think it's like a samurai story, but it was this one that I was actually after, and I mistook this for this. So yeah, this is a mystery. It's like a murder mystery on an island. It's decapitation, strangulation, and suspension. I haven't read them yet, but I like mysteries. These are all by Nisho Ishin, who also did the Monogatari series. And then Blood Plus, these were the first light novels that I ever owned, and I have read them. I loved the anime for Blood Plus, which is why I read these, and I think the anime was slightly better, but these were also very good. With Blood Plus, the anime came first, and then the light novels are based off the anime, rather than the anime being based off the light novels. The anime was actually based off a film called Blood the Last Vampire, and then it got made into Blood Plus. And then they did the light novels based off of the anime, and there's also manga, but the mangas, I have read a little bit of it, and it was completely different. But the light novels are pretty much the same. And then there's some BL one-shots here. Gentle Cage, Eternal Love, Sweet... What was this one called again? Sweet Separation? Admiration. I have read this one. This is the only one I've read. It was okay. It was a bit cheesy. But I think like these Juno light novels are kind of all like that. Body Language is the one next to it. And then Night Darkwalker. I think this one is actually based off a shoujo manga, and then it got like a BL spin-off as a light novel. I haven't read the original manga. I don't even know if it's in English or not. And then Let's Play. This is no light novel. This is a graphic novel. The volume 1. And that is the majority of my light novels. There is some on the shelves over there, which I put with their respective series. But yeah, that's the majority of the light novels. Now we're going to move on to my Japanese volumes, which are up here. I have Grapple Fairy Tale, the sequel. So the original light novel ended at, I think, 17 volumes, and this is volumes 18, 19, and 20, which was a short sequel that was written years later, which I don't know if Yen Press is going to translate this or not, or whether they're going to stop at 17, which is why I picked them up when I was in Japan. I saw them, I was like, I'm going to get them just in case. So yeah, that's those. So those are also light novels. The rest is manga. Oh, apart from this. This is a Yona of the Dawn light novel, which I picked up in Japan, which we don't have in English. I don't think we'll ever get it in English. Viz Media doesn't tend to release shoujo light novels, so we'll probably never have this in English. So I just saw it when I was in Japan and decided to pick it up. Yep, told you he'd be back before long. Then there's a bunch of like Hanatsume and Lala series up here. So this first one is... This is the Amorous Raven, the Princess Groom and the Amorous Raven Volume 1. This is a new series that just started serializing this year. And then these three are Master of the Ghost Castle 1, 2, and 3. None of these have English releases other than Fruits Basket and that one. Get to it in a minute. This one is Don't Spend My Last Years on Your Youth. 1 and 2. That one is a Hanatime title. I think it's like a drama. I have a lot of Hanatime magazines, and I see these in the magazines, and I thought they looked interesting. Then I can't remember what this one is called, but I liked what I saw in the magazines, and that's 1 and 2 of that one. And then I 1 to 6 of this one, which is called Shiono something or other. It's the author of Library Wars, and it's completed 6 volumes, and I'd really like to see this one getting an English release. But yeah, I picked 4 of those up in Japan, and I got the other ones off the Japanese Amazon. That's where I got these ones from too, apart from Yona. And then here is the complete set of 7 Seeds in Japanese from 1 to 35, and then the sequel. I really love 7 Seeds, and I'd like to see this in English more than any other series that is unlicensed. But I don't think anyone's going to do it, because it is a josei that is 35 volumes long, and Yumi Tamura doesn't sell well in English, so I doubt we'll ever get it in English, but I really hope that someday we will, because I would love to be able to read it properly. And then behind Alphen we have Fruits Basket, the collector's edition in Japanese, volume 1. I got this in Japan. I love Fruits Basket, it's my favourite series, so I wanted to pick up the first one in Japanese. Bloody Monday volume 4, which was an accidental buy. I thought this was the English one, but it wasn't. The eBay seller did have a picture of the English volume on the listing though, so it's not like completely my fault. Although the fact that it was only £2 should have maybe given it away. And then with That's an Understatement, volume 1, I picked this up in Japan before it got an English printing. And then here is some magazines. So this is Hanatime magazines from 2008. I don't know what months these are from, but they were issue 14 and 16. And I found these on eBay a while back. This one has Skip Beat on the front, and then I think that one has, like, I think Special A on the front. But yeah, I really like owning these children magazines, especially if I can find vintage ones from like the early 2000s or like the 90s and stuff. I really like to find one that has a chapter of Fruits Basket in it, but the ones with Fruits Basket in tend to be more expensive, especially the ones with Fruits Basket on the cover. But maybe someday I'll find one. Then these are Laura magazines. This one's from July of this year. This one is from June of last year. This one has the first chapter of the sequel to this in it. This is a ribbon magazine I picked up when I was in London from Japan Centre. I can't remember when it's from. This is a dessert magazine from December 2022. And this one is a Betsukomi magazine from August 2015. Most of these I've found on either Vinted or eBay, or I said this one I got from the Japan Centre. And one of the Hanatime ones which I have elsewhere is from I got in Japan. This is a Comic Zero Sum from, these are like shoujo ones, and then these are josei ones, apart from the bottom. This is January 2024 for Comic Zero Sum. Flowers, I got this one because it has Don't Quote Mystery on the cover. This one is from June 2025. And then 2 Feel Young magazines from I think it was January and August last year, something like that. And then these 2 Shoujo Beat magazines from November and December 2007, which are in English. These are hard to find in the UK, but I did find these two on... This one on eBay, this one on Vinted. I didn't get them together, but it just so happens I found ones that came after each other. It would be very cool if I found the October 2007 one, because this has the second chapter of a series and then this one has the third chapter, so that one would have the first chapter and then I would have like the first 3 chapters. It's the Haruka Beyond the Streams of Time is the one I'm on about. Anyway, that is all of the stuff under there. So we're gonna go... Actually, let's go do over here quickly and then move on to the main shelves, or else I may forget about these. But these are my art books. I'm gonna like open up the cabinet to show them because they're blocked by Cyrus. There we go. This is the Art of Room Factory 5 from... It came with the collector's edition of the Switch game, and this one is Norn 9, which also came with the Switch game. This is just some Mr. Up's Queen's Choice art cards. They're quite risque, so I'm not gonna show them. This is the Okami official Complete Works art book by Udon. This is the Danganronpa 1 and 2 Reload art book. This one is what's this one again? Token Rambu. This one is the first Token Rambu art book. This is the Code Realize Future Blessings guidebook. This one is Amnesia. And this one is Cora X Malice. These the Otome game guidebooks. Then we have the Art of Junji Ito. This is the Viz release. Then this is the Square Enix release of My Happy Marriages art book. It's hardcover. I think the Japanese release is softback, but I'm not sure. But yeah, that's the Square Enix one. This is Fruits Basket art book. This one, see there, is the Kodansha release of the Wotakoi art book. Yeah, it's Kodansha. That one is... This one is Susuji Now art, but from 2001 to 2010. That is 3 of these. I don't have the other 2. But this is the artist who does the Man Booby Sakai, but that's not featured in here. I just really love her art, so I picked up this book. This is Junjo Romantica art book. This one is the Laura 40th anniversary art book, which I picked up in Japan for £5 because it was considered damaged. And what the Japanese definition of damaged is not like our definition of damaged, because I could see nothing wrong with this when I bought it, but it was so cheap because it was considered damaged. But yeah, glad I found this because I don't know how easy these are to come across. Because I know Laura's 50th anniversary is next year, so this is like 9 years old. This is the Laughing Under the Clouds art book. I found this one on Vinted. This one is the Art of Fushigi Yugi. I found this one on eBay for like £5 and it was bidding and I'm the only person who bid on it, so I got it for like very cheap. And then this is the Hanata Yume 50th anniversary art book, which is kind of like the Laura one, and it's Hanata Yume. This is the Given art book. This one is Therapy Gamer and Secret XXX and The Dragon's Betrothed. This is the Ascendance of a Bookworm fan book. This is the Inuyasha Profiles, which was much the same case as the Fushigi Yugi art book, where I got it for super cheap because I'm the only one who bid on it. This is the Pokemon... move you a minute. It's the Pokanatomy. This is an unofficial fan but work about the anatomy of different Pokemon, and it is very cool and interesting. It only covers the Kanto Pokemon. I know the guy did another one who did covering the Johto Pokemon, but I don't know how easy that one is to find. I got this one on Vinted, and then the Anime Encyclopedia Third Revised Edition. Let's just put you back. Make sure you're standing up straight. So yeah, that is everything in that side. And in this side, I have the Yona of the Dawn art book from the 20th anniversary. That's the only art book in here. I have it like this, like displayed, because it looks very nice. And then a bunch of Hanatime magazines, including the 50th anniversary one. That came with a bunch of extras, like the pictures that I have in the back there, as well as these two little books up here and all of these art cards. It also came with those. I have the Fruits Basket one at the front, and then there's a bunch more Hanatime magazines back here. So everything in here is a Hanatime magazine, other than the ones I have under the bed, because they wouldn't fit. And then that came with this came with one of the Lara magazines, because Japanese shoujo magazines tend to give away like a little free gift with most of them, and yeah, this was one of the Lara free gifts. One of the Hanatimes I got while in Japan actually gave away like a board game with like little cardboard characters, which was pretty cool. But yeah, this is like a little shoujo shrine. Anyway, on to the main event of the manga now. If Rowan will let me put the chair there. Rowan, can I have the chair? Can I put the chair there so I can get up? No? Come on. Come on, there's a nice bed here. There's a nice bed here. Good boy. You can lie on there. You can lie on there. I need to have the chair here. Good boy. Okay, up we go. We're going to do this whole top row first so I can get off the chair. But yeah, this is the, all the top row, everything is BL on the top shelves. And that is, apart from the Kingdom Hearts novel. That's the complete light novel, correct? I accidentally knocked the camera off, but we're back. That's the complete light novel collection of Kingdom Hearts in one big giant book by Impress. They did quite a few of those editions. I know they did one for Spice and Wolf. I think they did Sword Art Online, a certain magical index, and the chair is spinning around. And, what was the other one they did? They did one more, but I can't remember. Anyway, I can't get any closer to that section. But if you can see, there is Wanna Be My Dress Up Lover is on the top there. On top of, underneath that is That Time I Got Stuck to the Guy I Hate. And then volume 1 of Sweet Room Escape. At the back of that is Sasaki and Miyano 1 to the latest one. Don't know what the latest one is, something like 11, something like that. And then the spin-off, which is Hirano and Kaguya 1 to 4. And then next to that, behind Yurio, there is Honey Darling, Golden Sparkle. What's that yellow one? Yes. What is that yellow one? I can't see the title because of how bright yellow it is. Oops. Oh, it's, yeah. Taka's Treasure, and then Embracing Love 1 and 2. Let me just stand you back up. There we go. He's on their head because he won't fit anywhere else. And then at the front is The Vampire and His Presence Companions 1. I really like that one. That was very good. 2 of Hearts, which is a random one-shot from publisher. An old publisher. I've forgotten what they're called, but it begins with D. Then My Only One by 801, which is Sensitive Pornograph. I have seen the anime for that. It was interesting. Then we have Sigma Bites 1 2, that's complete. That is Another good one that's like a mystery one. Then Someday I'll Fall For You 1. Asking You Will Receive 1. That one was very good. I very highly recommend that. I read it recently. It was very good. And then The Metalhead Next Door volume, which is complete. It's a one-shot. Now let's see how easy I can access this shelf, because this shelf is full of Given. Yeah. So at the back, right over there, is Love Stage, complete 1 to 7. If you Love Stage, and then 10 count complete 1 to 6. There. 7 days, Monday to Sunday, that is complete. Cast Heaven is complete at 8. That's one of the most messed up BL I've ever read, but I can't say I didn't enjoy it, because I kind of like that sort of thing. But yeah, wouldn't recommend it if you want a cute, fluffy romance. It is, yeah, it's toxicer than anything. Then we have Candy Colour Paradox 1 to 6, and that's up to date. And then that's a sorted pack as the pink one there, which is a like short story collection. Yes. Then there's False Memories 1 and 2. That's complete. That's the same creator. And then there's Secret XXX. Is that shit? Is that pink one right there? And then Therapy Game. Candy Colour Paradox and Therapy Game are like two of my favourite BL. They're really good. But that's Therapy Game 1, 2 complete, and Therapy Game Restart 1, 2, 3 and 4. I think 5 might be out. But there's the Dragon's Betrothed 1 and 2, which is up to date. I don't know when we're getting more of that. It seems to be on hiatus. And then The World's Greatest Birth of Love 1, 2 and 3. Punch Up 1 and Black and White 1. The rest of the shelves should be a bit easier because I can actually reach them. But at the front of this one is Coyote 1 to 4. Vikrant Cigarettes, and then Burgess Shangri-La 1 to 3. That one is fantastic. These are all by Ramnu Zarya, and she draws a very good arse. If you want good BL arse, read something by Ramnu Zarya because she draws them fantastically. Then we have Given, my favourite BL ever, 1 to 9. That's complete. I'm anticipating when Sublime is going to release 10th mix. They basically said that they will, just that they can't yet because it's not out in Japan in volume format. But yeah, they basically confirmed that they will do it, which makes sense because Given's like the biggest seller. Rinks is the same creator as Given. That one's a one-shot. Dear Jealousy. Yeah, I can't remember what that one was about. But I think it's the same creator as Escape Journey. It is, yeah. I really liked Escape Journey. That one was good. This is complete at 3. Yakushin Bitch Club 1 to 4. That is complete. That one's also quite messed up and ridiculous. But yeah, I still liked it. Then Sayonara Game, Change World, Love Nest, and Love Nest Second is all like the same world. Like, this is one couple, and this is another couple. No, this is the same couple as these two are the same couple. And then this is a different couple. I haven't got Love Nest Second 2, nor do I have the other one about the other couple. Awkward Tyrants, I just have 1. Crimson Spell, then Toy Town Birds of a Feather 1 or 2, that is complete. That one where he can talk to birds, and that one, and he doesn't really like them because one of them told him to get lost once. Dick Fight Island, you gotta love Dick Fight Island. It's ridiculous, but it's fun. And yeah, and I really like it. Pink Hop Jam 1 and 2, I still need to pick up the sequel of that one. That one was also really good. And Jackass and Knights. And now I'm going to have to move the chair along very slightly so I can get to more BL goodness on the next shelf. Let's pull this put you there. And let's move that out the way. At the back there on the top is 23.45. That is, it was a one shot, but it does now have a second volume. That's a BL magazine. I don't know which one. I picked it up in London, but it is from June 2023. And it's got like this series on the side of it. Then we have Cherry Magic 1 to 13. Is that 13? Yeah, it is. That's up to date. I like Cherry Magic in the beginning. It's getting a bit, like it's dragging on a bit now, but yeah. It was enjoyable. Then I think Our Son is Gay, which is not technically a BL because it's more about the mother realising that her son might be gay and trying to be supportive of him than it is like an actual BL. But I put it on the BL shelf anyway because it kind of fits. My Summer of You, Volumes 1, 2 and 3, which I really like that one. I tend to pick up everything by this author. Some of it is better than others, such as we have My Ultramarine Sky and Number Call, which I didn't like as much. But yeah, this author tends to like more like sweet kind of bit drama-ish BLs, but not they're never explicit. Next to that is New York, New York, which is one of my favourites. I really like that one. It is definitely sad and it is definitely frustrating and it's definitely a hard one to read at times, but yeah, I really enjoy it. Let's try to put you back up there and try not to knock you off again. Then The White and Blue Between Us. I think that's the one where he was in a lighthouse, but I can't actually remember that well, but I think he was in a lighthouse. And Restart After Coming Home and Restart After Growing Hungry, they're very good, they're quite sweet. Then Love a Kitten and the Salty Dog, that one I enjoyed. That one was a bit more smutty. If we move you, let's just bring him off. Let's just get him off. There we go. A reincarnation. I got reincarnated in a BL world of Big Man Boobs. That's the man boob basically. And My Noisy Roommate. The Roof Over My Head comes with Monsters and a Hottie. I have volume 2 with that one. It's on the desk in that pile because I haven't put it away yet. That one was good. I did like volume 2 slightly more than volume 1. Same with this one, Wild Roses and Pretender, that's completed too. Then The Summer He Called Died, 1, 2, 4. I have ordered 5. Again, it's in my order that I think it's been delayed or something because it's like been 2 weeks now and it hasn't been dispatched yet. And then Marriage to Kitsune-san, that's like a Fox one. Link Click 1 and 2, that's not BL, but I'd put it up there anyway because I want it to be BL. Dash, which is the author of Candy Colour Paradox. No Love Zone, that's a manhwa. So is Cherry Blossoms After Winter and Murderous Pheromones Candlelit Dinner and Radio Storm. Radio Storm was very good. Really enjoyed that one. Read it recently. Then Beautiful Things and Pray Me Softly. That one was good. It was a one shot. It was like musical. But it was like quite enjoyable. It had everything you wanted. It had good art, good relationship, good sex. So I enjoyed it. Then we have at the front of the shelf. These are like the hardest shelves to do. My Love Makes Up 1 to 9 complete. That's like fluffy, cute, misunderstanding BL. Then we have Happy at the End. This one's the same author as Tenkan? No. This one's the same author as Bitch Club and Escape Journey. It's quite dark. I haven't picked up any more yet. A Home Far Away, that one's very depressing. Sick. Don't really remember what that one was about. I think it was just a high school romance. Wild Wild Wildlife is short stories. Some of them are strange. Song at Yoru and Asa, that's a musical one. The Reincarnated Wolf, the Ruthless Commander and his Reincarnated Wolves, I hated that one. But I keep it to remind me of the hatred, and also it's just very bloody random. I really didn't like the relationship. I didn't like the Ruthless Commander. He was like, yeah, not good. I wouldn't recommend it unless you want to read something random. Query Under the Snow, I like this one. This is the author of Seaside Stranger. Yeah, Amomo, that one was also like really dark. But yeah, I liked it. I would read more. This is just volume 1. Then Only the Flower Knows, 1, 2, and 3. This is the author of Tenkan. This one's very good. I would recommend this one. It's kind of a bit emotional, but it's very good. This is its prequel/sequel. At the Flower Capital, it's a story about, I think, one was grandfather, but it also has a sequel story to Only the Flower Knows at the end of it, so you kind of have to read it after. Then No Touching at All. I think the spin-off series of this that they were supposed to be re-bringing out got cancelled because I don't think Juno's printing stuff anymore, which is kind of sad. I Should Not Love You. This is the author of Cast Heaven, but this one's very cute, nothing like Cast Heaven at all. And then Romeo Volume 1, that one was quite interesting. I would read more, but I don't think we're getting more. I Hear the Sunspot, I Hear the Sunspot Theory of Happiness, then Ribbit 1, 2, and 3, and 4 Seasons 1 and 2. And one of my favourite, I absolutely love this series. Yeah, would recommend. It's like very sweet, kind of dramatic, because obviously one of them is harder feelings and it deals with the issues that come with that. Would recommend this one. Very good. If you're a good daddy and tender teacher, this one's very cute. If you want something cute and fluffy and with a little bit of spice, but not too much spice, give this one a go. Very like that one. Seaside Stranger 1, 2, 6. This is up to date. And then Love in the Palm of His Hand 1. I did really enjoy this first volume and I would definitely want to read more. Now we're going to move on to the final BL shelf. Hello, Mr. Legs. Let's get down. And let's move the chair. And let's get back up. Now, behind every single token on Puna and Joy is... I would reach up and, like, pull them out, but it's kind of hard to reach the back of these shelves, even on the chair. Stay By My Side After the Rain 1 2, I have 3 as well. Again, it's on the desk over there, along with Hatsukoi Note 1 2. I don't tend to put BL away until after I film my reading log, so I don't have to constantly get up and down. Anyway, behind that is Killing Stalking. That is a manhwa. Well, that one is in an interesting place. I'll pick him up later. And then behind this guy, careful, don't want to drop this one as well. Hybrid Child. That's the author of Junjo Romantica and World's Greatest First Love. I do like most of the stories now. It's short stories, but one of them was kind of weird. And then I Didn't Mean to Fall in Love and Hatsukoi Note 1. 2 was on the desk, as I said. I really like Hatsukoi Note. That one was cute. And then we have Wet Dream Aquarium. I really like that one. It was interesting. It was funny, but it was very cute. And then Nagi High to Be or Not to Be. That one's quite forgettable. I might unhaul that one. My arms are getting a bit tired holding the camera up so high. And then we have On or Off 1. I really like that one and I really love to get more of that. And then Twilight Out of Focus 1. I watched the anime for that and I'm not sure whether I want to read more of it or not. And behind that is a bunch of Tokyo Pop stuff. Alright, come here, you. We have Shuri, My Destiny, I think that one's called. Katakoi Ramp. Like 2 peas in a pod, don't call me daddy and don't call me dirty. Let's put you back. I'll move the next guy. Grass syndrome. Would you like to be a family? Yagi the bookshop goat. Yeah, you. Tomorrow make me yours. Be my love, my lord. Some of these I like more than others. I just keep them all because they're kind of all the one-shot BL that Tokyo brought out before they entered into the Love line. Delivery for You, Replay, The Flower That Seemed to Truly Dance, I think that one was called. Spam Bruise, I wasn't keen on that one. Welcome Back, Ariola, I wasn't keen on that one either, but I say I keep them for the correction. And what's next? You. I'm looking for series of Cut Over Criteria, that's the one I didn't enjoy. The Staker of the Sparrow I loved, and Snow Fairy I loved, and we have Servant of Lord. I think that one might be, I think that one might be European. I don't know which country though. I picked up the wrong guy, I need to pick up this guy. Platinum Blood, The Treasure of the King of the Cat, Puppy Road, that was a cute one. Cat Proposed, really like that one. Ice chair is spinning around. There are things I can't tell you. I don't really remember much about that one. The Golden Fighter's Messenger, that one's cute. Wonderful Season with You, Deckerburger, Sugar Days, and then Bittersweet Days, and then Rob Turkers, which is another one I didn't really like. Yeah, he can just lay there for a minute in his basket. Yeah, they have Dungeon Romantica 1 to 12, which is complete of what they released in English. And then we have Lullaby of the Dawn 1 to 3. That is great, fantastic. There's a twist in Volume 3 that I was not expecting, so I'm very looking forward to picking more of that one up eventually. I do really like it, but I don't know when I'll get around to getting more. I keep forgetting to because it's not a new release. Then Man of Death 1 2, that one's tie, I do believe. Otherwise, books spent on the Bean Count 1 to 5, that's up to date. Be My Worst Nightmare 1 to 2, this one was quite funny and cute. Then I Can't Reach You 1 to 8, that is up to date. That one's like a slow burn high school romance. Anti-romance, I do not remember what this is about, which is why I haven't picked up Volume 2. 25 and Atat Saka is about acting. There is a lot more to this, but I think I'm stopping it too because I think that's a decent place to leave it. Boy Meets Maria, this is very sad. One shot. The Cornet Mouse Dreams of Cheese and The Cop on the Chopping Block Jumps Twice. They are by the creator of this one here, which we'll get to when we get down there. Total Eclipse of the Eternal Heart. Total Eclipse of the Eternal Heart, that's a horror. How to Prepare a Broken Cup. That one was really nice. I really enjoyed this one. If you want a good one-shot, I'd recommend that. It's where they swap places. Well, they've been in a relationship for like 10 years, and then one guy swaps places with his younger self, so the younger guy comes to the future and he goes to the past. And they kind of rekindle their lost sex life. Our Dining Table, that one's super cute. Only the Stars Know and The Two Lions. I did enjoy these two. These are by the creator of My Summer Review, and then Our Sweet One Room Apartment, which is okay. It was kind of misunderstandings that were unnecessary. That is all for the BL. Now we're going to go over these shelves, and then I will no longer need the chair, and I think at that point I might take a break and film some more of this tomorrow. I always plan to do this over like 2 days because I know this video is going to be very long, and it's getting close to 5 o'clock now, and it's going to be getting dark, and I don't want to be filming this with bad lighting. I think we'll stop after these shelves and like continue tomorrow, but for you guys watching the video it'll be just instant. So here is Chibi Vampire 1 to 14. Is it 14? Yep, that's complete, plus Airmail, which is a short story collection. There's a second short story collection called Bites, which I don't have. Yeah, this one, old Tokyo Pop series about vampires, but she's like a reverse vampire. Instead of drinking blood, she creates blood and has to give it to people, and it makes them feel good. But there's an anime for that one as well, which is how I originally consumed it. Then we have Pre-Tier 1 to 4, that's complete. I originally watched this as an anime. I did enjoy the anime more, but I did still like the manga. It is different. The anime went in a different direction, which I preferred over the manga, but yeah, I still recommend the manga. It's still very good. And then I'm a Witch and My Crush Wants Me to Make a Love Potion 1 to 4. That is up to date. That is a cute one. Like fantasy romance. Then a Reincarnated Witch Spells Doom 1 to 6. That one is also up to date. This one is Isekai, where she's reincarnated kind of as herself, but in a fantasy world with destruction powers. Like a Butterfly 1 to 10. I haven't got 11 and 12 yet, but I will be picking them up soon, probably. 1 to 5 as Associate Professor. Akira Takatsuki's Konjaku, which is complete at 6, so that one's almost done. I think 6 is out. And then Victoria of Many Faces 1, which is the manga of the light novel, but it's very good. Then over here we have one of my favourites, Dengeki Daisy 1 to 16. I absolutely adore Dengeki Daisy. It's one of my favourite manga ever. It's super good. It's like well, it's an age gap, but age gaps in manga don't bother me. But it follows Teru, who is like recently lost her older brother after losing her parents as a kid. And she's given this phone and said if ever anything goes wrong to contact Daisy and he would help her. And she doesn't know who Daisy is, but she texts him to when she's feeling down and stuff. And then she meets her school janitor called Kurosaki and gets involved with him, and then something happens where someone breaks into her house and tries to steal her phone because they know that's the only link to Daisy and they're after Daisy for some reason. So she ends up having to leave, and yeah, it's very good. And then it's the same creator as Q Sweeper and Queen's Quality. I actually read Q Sweeper a long time ago. I had Q Sweeper in my collection before Queen's Quality was even announced. And I remember reading the end and being like, is that where it ends? Very. And then finding out it had a sequel and then being like, I really hope this gets English print one day. And then when they did the announcements for Queen's Quality, I was being very happy that it got announced. Yeah, Queen's Quality is great. Another one of my favourites. I'm not up to date, it is finished. I don't think it's finished in English yet, but it's finished in Japanese at 25 volumes. And I have 20 up here and one on the desk, which I haven't put away yet. And then we have Beastmaster, which is also the same author. That was just 2 volumes. And then So Cute It Hurts 1 to 6, which I haven't read that one in a long time. But it was like a brother and sister, they were twins, and they swapped places with each other and went to each other's schools. So she could take a test for him that he was bad at or something. Then we have Red River 1 to 28, complete in the singles. Found this on eBay for a good deal before the omnibuses were announced. Yeah, I really like Red River. It's like historical kind of fantasy, isekai, set in ancient Turkey, like the Middle East, during the time of the Hittite era. It was really good. Then I have High School Debut 1 to 6, which is like the first 2 omnibuses. Really liked what I read of this one. I do want to get more, but it's been a while and I should probably reread these and then get more eventually. Star Brighter Than the Sun, this is the same creator as High School Debut 1 and 2. I think 3 is out as well. Then Mint Chocolate 112, this is a step siblings romance. I'm okay with step siblings as long as they didn't grow up together. Which these two didn't, they became step siblings as teenagers. So I'm okay with that, it's a bit like On My Way Boy. And then Agents of the Four Seasons. I talked about this in the light novel, was very good. Fantasy, shoujo, kind of bit of mystery in there too, bit of action, very good anyway. It's about this people who control the 4 seasons, and the spring. One of controls spring went missing for 10 years, so there was no spring, and then she's recently come back. And there's a whole mystery about where she went and who took her and stuff like that. Anyway, that is probably not a good idea. I'll push it from the floor over to here. Anyway, at the back here, on this shelf is something from Love Press, which is the only thing I have from that publisher, is Love for Dessert, I think was that what it was called? Yeah, it's it's short stories, it's smutty series. It was okay. Think Steamship, but just in short story format. And then My Coworker Has a Secret, that is a complete josei series, 2 volumes, about a girl who's trying to keep her obsession with idols a secret from her co-workers. And then Miss, because The Rose Princess is kind of like, it isn't great, but I enjoy it. It's all over the place. This plot doesn't make sense at times, but yeah, I enjoyed what I read, and I would finish it. And then Bloody Monday 1 to 11, Capri. Yeah, this one, I corrected this back when it was still in print other than volume 4, and that's why I had such a hassle getting volume 4. And then I was like, I'm going to correct the rest straight away before they go up print as well. So I had this one a while. The volume 4 was the only one I struggled to find because the rest was in print at the time. I think it is all out of print now. But it's very good thriller mystery series about a hacker who's trying to stop terrorists who are planning something called Bloody Monday. And then we have Leo and the Fairy 1 to 4, that's complete. This one does have a light novel too, but it's digital only, and that sucks, because I would definitely read it if it was physical. Then we have Urara and Ultramaniac. They are 2 volume 1s of older shoujo titles, which I haven't continued yet. And then Basara 1 to 12. This is like the first half of the series. I can't find 13 onwards for a good price, so I haven't picked them up, but I was enjoying what I read. It's like fantasy shoujo series with lots of action and a bit of enemies to lovers romance. And then Mixed Vegetables is like cooking. It's completed 7. It's a girl who makes sushi who wants to make bread, and a boy who makes bread who wants to make sushi, and they kind of get close to each other in order to use each other to get like what they want, basically. Then we have Kobuto 1 and 2 from Cramp, and then Wish. Look at the Omnibus, also Cramp. These are the only Cramp series that I have. But I read Wish because the characters from Wish play quite a big part in Kobuto, and I have watched the anime for Kobuto, and I really like the anime. Then we have Ancient Magus Bride 1 to 19. This is up to date, and here is the fan book, the supplements 1 and 2, which just give information about the world and stuff, and then the 2 anthologies, the Golden Yawn and the Silver Yawn. I also had this little booklet that came with volume 6, which is like just a short story. I don't know if that still comes with volume 6 or whether it was like a limited thing. Then we have the Ancient Magus Bride Wizard's Brew 1 to 8. I think that's up to date. And Jack Flash and the Jack Flash and the Carey Face Files 1 to 4. That's up to date too. I think this one might be on hiatus. It's been a while since we've gotten one of these. Then Beast of Abigail 1 to 4. I really like this one, but I did wish it was a bit longer. Okay, we're going to move on to this other shelf, and then I'm going to call it a day. I'll continue this tomorrow. So up here we have Blackbird. That's a complete set. Trashy shoujo romance, but I like it quite a bit. 2 seconds moment, I'm up on a chair. And then we have Kami-sama Kiss complete at 25 plus the special edition 25 that came with the extra story. I bought this limited edition as soon as it came out, knowing that I would want it eventually, but I hadn't finished the series at the time, so I just left it like in the plastic and waited till I caught up. But now I've read it. The main reason I wanted it was for the side story in the extra book there. But yeah, I enjoy Kami-sama Kiss and Blackbird. Yes, I'm gonna have to go let him out. I'm coming. There you go. And up I go. And this next is Dawn of the Arcana 1 to 13. Love this series. It's a shoujo fantasy where she is married off to the prince of a neighbouring kingdom, but people in this world have, like, there's normal people and then there's Ajin, which are like people with animal features, and the Ajin like have powers called Arcana, but our main character Nakaba also has an Arcana, and she has the Arcana of Time, so she can see into like the past and the future, and it's very good. Highly recommend it. Especially if you like The King's Beast, because this is connected. I used to think that The King's Beast was a sequel to Dawn of the Arcana. But now, after catching up to the recent parts of The King's Beast, I think it might actually be a prequel, and it takes place first. Because, obviously, I remember there being mentions in Dawn of the Arcana of a kingdom, and that sounded similar to the kingdom in The King's Beast, but more towards how it is towards the end. So yeah, I do think this one might take place first, or maybe start out taking place first, and then maybe take place at the same time, or something like that. But yeah, I do like The King's Beast too. I have keyrings, yeah. But I think Dawn of the Arcana is the better out of the two. And then we have The Water Dragon's Bride, which is also a Toma. I've only got the first 3 for this one. But yeah, I do like all her works, but I like this one the most. And then we have After School Nightmare 1 to 10 complete. I really love this series too. If you can find this, because it is out of print, I would highly recommend it. So, After School Nightmare follows this main character here, who is on the floor, who is intersex, which means they have the parts of both a man and a woman. So at the start of the series, like, they have the top half of a boy and the bottom half of a girl, but they identify as being a boy, and he really doesn't like the fact that his bottom half is like female. He resents that fact because he wants to be seen as being a boy. And they go to this school, and in this school at night they go to this like other place where they're summoned there, and if they don't go for 3 days in a row they disappear, so they like have to go. And when they go into this like other place, they turn into like something else that kind of represents them in a way, and when he's in this world he becomes fully a woman, so he really doesn't like that. And there's another character in here who is like He likes to look down on people, but he has a flimsy ego. So when he enters into this world, he becomes a paper giraffe. So he's tall and he can look down on people, but he's flimsy. So it's kind of things like that. And if they manage to find a key in this place, they get to graduate. None of them know what graduating means. They just know, like, once someone graduates, they disappear. But it's a very definitely interesting series, and I would highly recommend it if you can find it. I was lucky enough to find this on eBay for like £50 for the whole thing, so that was like really good bargain. I didn't even know I wanted it at the time. I just thought that's really good price and it sounds cool, so I'll give it a go. And I'm glad I did because I loved it. And then we have X Day, which is the same author. This one is only 2 volumes, but it was also interesting. It's about 3 students and a teacher who hate school and decide they'd want to formulate a plan to blow it up. There's also a short story in here about cow people, which was kind of interesting. Then we have Kurt Decides to Die, first 2 omnibuses. Really enjoyed this one so far, and I would really like to get more at some point when I get around to it. Then Attack of Vampires Would Bite is another one. This is the author of Kamisama Kiss. I couldn't fit it beside it, so I put it front. But I love this one too. This one is very relatable with how obsessed she is with like certain things. But yeah, that is that shelf done, and I no longer need the chair. So yeah, we'll be going over this section next, but I will be doing that tomorrow. But for you, it will be like instant. So yeah, see you in like a few seconds, I guess. It's now the next day, and it's time to get back to the tour. So before I continue from where I left off yesterday, I did forget to mention that up the top there is a few volumes. So there is the manga adaptation of Under the Oak Tree, and then there's They Were 11, and I put them up there because they're oversized and it's where they fit. And then there's also Loving Reaper, which is not a manga, but it is a comic. And something about Loving Reaper's spines is that the text on the spine actually reads bottom to top, whereas most of the time with spines, the text will read top to bottom, but that one's bottom to top, which I thought was kind of interesting. Anyway, moving on to where we got to yesterday, which was here. So first at the back I have Mars 1 to 15 complete. Volume 3 is currently in there because I'm reading it. But I do have the whole thing other than the Horse with No Name like prequel. So yeah, I've been trying to get through Mars this year, but I've only like got halfway through volume 3 at the minute, but I am really enjoying it. It is very dramatic. It is like, yep, definitely look up the trigger warnings if you want to get into this one. But it is very good so far, and I'm definitely enjoying it. And then next to that is Portus. This is a one-shot horror manga about a character from a game, I think. And then next to that is another horror. This one is Dark Metro. If I move the cappy. Dark Metro, that is a 3-in-1 from Tokyo Pop. That one is about a underground station that is like haunted, and this guy has to like deal with all the monsters there and stuff. And then next to that is We Can't Do Just Plain Love 1 to 3, which is a smut series from Tokyo Pop, which I really enjoy. It's very good. If you're looking for some good smut, I would recommend that one. And then next is Eternal Sabbath, which is same creator as Mars. This is their seinen series. I have read this one. It was good. It's like a sci-fi where they make artificial humans called ESs or Eternal Sabbaths, which are, they have like the powers to control people's minds, and they don't age. Well, they age rapidly up until they become an adult, and then they kind of stop aging. But well, I did enjoy that one. It was good. And then I have the first volume of Danganronpa, the animation. I love Danganronpa. I haven't read much of the manga, but I have played the games, I've watched the anime and stuff. Then here is The Emperor's Caretaker 1 and 2. I'm really enjoying this Chinese inspired series. It's like historical and set in like the court, like a bit like Waverly in the Palace and stuff like that, where she is tasked to become the emperor who is 5 years old's caretaker. And then the case study of Julia Richard, this is the manga version. Then there's some 7 Seas shoujo, and one josei is Tokyo in Love 1. I did really enjoy this one, and I did try to order volume 2, but it was out of stock. So, next time. Glasses for the Chance of Delinquent 1 and 2. I picked up volume 2 when I was in Manchester last month. Yeah, I do enjoy this one. This one is good. But I probably say I like Tokyo in Love more out of the 2. Then Home Sweet Home, this is only 3 volumes long. It is complete. I just haven't got the other 2 yet. This one is the author of Rainbow Days, which I wasn't keen on, but I did enjoy this one more than Rainbow Days. Then it's Diary of a Female Read 1 and 2. This is another one I've been really enjoying quite a lot. And then It Takes More Than a Pretty Face to Fall in Love. This is the Hanajime title. I thought this first volume was quite good. I'm interested to get more to see if I start enjoying it a little bit more, because I did like it, just I think these ones are better. But yeah, I think I will probably like it more the more I read and the more I get to know the couple. And then Wolf's Daughter, A Werewolf's Tale. This is a josei one. It's about werewolves. I read it quite recently. It also has a lot to do with winemaking. Anyway, that is that little shelf, and we're going to go around to here. And on this shelf is Happy Marriage. This is a josei series that is trashy and it's not great, but it happens to be one of my favourite josei because it may be like quite cheesy and trashy, but I just love it. I think it's great. Yeah, and the male reader's a dick, but I'm kind of used to bigger dicks and like some other stuff, so yeah, I really like this one. It's not the popular opinion. Most people do not like the series, but it's a guilty pleasure of mine. I absolutely love it, and I will never part with it. And then by the same author is An Incurable Case of Love. I do enjoy this one too, just not quite as much as Happy Marriage. This one's like a medical romance with a doctor and a nurse. There's also a live action adaptation on Netflix, which I have not watched. It is on my list of things to watch, I just haven't got around to it yet, but I don't tend to like watching live action adaptations of things that I think are going to be cringy in live action. Because it's not cringy when it's like in an anime, but when it's in a live action it can come across as cringy. So yeah, I prefer the ones that are more like dramatic, because they tend to be less cringy, whereas this one's kind of more light-hearted. It does have some drama though. And then it has Sugar Princess. This is an ice skating manga. It's only 2 volumes. It's from the creator of Hanakiri. It was very good, but it could have been a lot longer. It kind of ended before its time. I think it might have been cancelled, but I'm not sure. But it was good for what I read of it. You have Snow White with the red hair. 1 to 26, and that is up to date. This is like a slow slice of life fantasy romance, but it's kind of very slow paced and fairy tale-esque as well. It's, if you want like something where they're gonna progress fast, I wouldn't recommend this because it is very slow paced. It's very relaxing, and yeah. And then this is Honey So Sweet Volume 1, which I do want to get more of because that one was cute. At the front here it's Mao 1 to 19. I don't think this is quite up to date, but I do enjoy Mao. Out of the Rumiko Takahashi series, this is my second favourite after Inuyasha. This is the one that reminds me the most of Inuyasha, and I think it's actually got an anime coming out next year, I think, or the year after. It's got an anime announced anyway. I do really like the black spines with the coloured text. I think that looks very nice. And next to Mao is Cheeky Brat 1 to 13. This is up to date. I've been really enjoying Cheeky Brat. I think it's very good. And I think it's finished at 22 volumes, so it is quite a longer shoujo, and I'll probably end up filling this shelf once I get up on it. But yeah, it's very good. So is this one too, Stray Cat and Wolf. I've also been really enjoying Stray Cat and Wolf, but I think it's currently... It's not released very often because Cheeky Bat was published in Hana to Yume. Spring Storm and Monster is currently being published in Hana to Yume, but Stray Cat and Wolf is published in the Hana to Yume, which is the Hana to Yume spin-off magazine, and I don't think we get... I think we only get... I think the Hana to Yume only releases an issue every 2 months, so if we get the chapters are very slow. I do think it is still getting chapters in there though. It's just takes a while to build up another volume, but I know volume 4's out in Japan, but I think that's it currently. But yeah, I do really like this one. I just wish it would publish a little bit faster. And then, as I mentioned, Space War Monster 1 and 2. I really like volume 1, but I've been put off a bit by volume 2 because this guy's starting to act kind of yandere-ish, and I really do not like yanderes, especially male yanderes. And yeah, if he continues to go down the route of being a yandere adjacent, I don't know if I want to continue reading this. I might give volume 3 a go and then stop. We'll see. Next to that is Kakuyo, Bed and Breakfast for Spirits, 1 to 9. I think 10 is out. This one is based off the light novel, which I'd really like to have in English someday. There's also an anime where the second season is currently airing, and I'm looking forward to watching the second season. Then Firefly Wedding 1. This one is another one where the main guy is like a yandere, but as of this first volume, it's not really a romance. But I think it is listed as a romance online, but I really hope these two don't get together, because I would probably drop the series if they did. But yeah, I do want to get more, but I went into it knowing what the guy was like, and I'm okay with him being that way as long as it doesn't actually turn into a romance, but I think it will, so we'll see how it goes with that one. I got it because it was popular and everyone said it was great, but yeah, I knew I would kind of be like hitty missy with it because of the guy being a yandere, but we'll see how it goes with that one. But I'm not rushing to get more volumes or anything. Then we have Snow Angel. This one was very good. It's a very sad drama about a young carer who is made to look after her grandfather, who has dementia and is rapidly going downhill to the point that he can't do anything himself anymore, and she kind of doesn't have a life because like her grandmother is very emotionally manipulative in the way she treats her, and her mother's kind of shut down. But yeah, it is very good, and if you want a hard hitting drama, definitely give this one a go. It's very good. And at the back here, behind Anya and Bond, not Bonya, I keep saying Bonya, it's Anya and Bond, is Noragami 1 to 27 complete. Yeah. Noragami is something I was reading from like the release of volume 1, and I enjoyed the journey of following these characters right from release to end. Yeah, I really enjoyed Noragami. It was good. Moving along is Alive. What's the subtitle for that one? The Final Evolution. This is Adachi Toki's series that they did before Noragami. Well, they did the artwork, and the author who did Alive sadly passed away soon after finishing the series, so it was his one and only work. And then Adachi Toki, who did the art, went on to do Noragami. Adachi Toki is 2 women. That's right, it's like Sumo Ishii, where they just kind of combine their names into one. One does the art, one does the story. And yeah, you can see how much their art has improved since doing Alive to now doing Noragami. But this series was only released physically in English up to volume 8, and then Del Rey was bought out by Kodansha, and they only released the rest digitally. But I think I have 1 to 7. So I'm missing 8. Yeah, I'm missing 8. But I think it was like 20 volumes or something like that. But if I wanted to read the rest, I would have to read it digitally, which I'm not. No, Michi, why are you on the floor? Sure, whether I'd want to. But it was decent. I enjoyed it. After that is Tagami Bachi 1 to 5. This one's about postmen in like a fantasy world, and there's like giant bugs, and it starts out with this guy being asked to deliver a parcel, which turns out to be a little boy, to his like relatives, and then once he's been delivered, he like gains admiration for this postman, and he decides he wants to go to be a postman too. But it's fantasy postman, and I think the series has recently gone out of print, so I haven't continued past 5 yet, but I really like the art, and the story is definitely interesting. The next to that is ID Invaded Break Broken 1, 2, and 3. This manga series is a sequel to the anime, which is kind of weird to make a manga sequel to an anime, especially when the anime doesn't have a manga itself. So you do have to watch the anime before you read this, or else it would be quite confusing. But yeah, it is like a sci-fi, like, detective series. It's very good. And behind, next to that, if the camera will focus on the manga and not on Lupin, is the Grand Guino Orchestra, Volume 1 by Karuyuki. And in the front here, we have Finspeya 1 to 10. That is, I think I've ordered 11. I think 11's on its way because my sci-fi was dispatched this morning. So finally, I'll have something to read. I've been running out. So yeah, this is a fantasy shoujo, like, this one's more of a European setting than an Asian setting. But Freya, who is a girl who was raised in like a country village, is asked to take the place of the prince who recently died because she looks a lot like him, so now she has to pretend to be the prince and like run this kingdom. It's good. It's probably not my favourite fantasy, but I do enjoy it. Then with you I'll ever make it through 1. This is like a furry romance between a girl and like a dog boy. It is very interesting. I did really enjoy this first volume, and it's got an anime currently airing, which I will check out once it's ended, because I prefer to watch things all at once than weekly. And then we have Daytime Shooting Star. This is complete, but 5 is in there because I haven't read that one yet. But yeah, I do enjoy this one. It's Mika Yamamori. And so is this one, Tsubaki Charo New Planet. This one is finished at 14, so not too much longer to go. I have 1 to 10. I do enjoy this one. This one has a rather large age gap, so probably don't read this one if you don't like age gaps. As I say, I'm okay with age gaps in manga. I will read them perfectly fine. This is that Spy Family 1 to 13. This is, I think, up to date, or was 14 out. But yeah, I really like Spy Family. It's like a manga. It's a comedy manga that I actually find funny at times. Not a lot of comedy manga I actually find funny, but I do like Spy Family. My favourite characters are Anya and Bond. I think they're great. The Anya chapters are the best ones, in my opinion. I do like Lloyd and Yor as well. I like the whole family, but Anya's my favourite. Next is this shelf. And at the back here behind Amaterasu is Imadoki, which is a 5-volume long high school romance from the creator of Ceres and Fushigi Yugi. It's Yu Watase. And this one's very dramatic. It's an older shoujo, and yeah, you can... The shoujo was very dramatic back in the 90s, because yeah, in just 5 volumes they cram in so much drama, and yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. Yeah, so that is another Uratase work, and this is Ceres Celestial Legend 1, 2, it's a 14 complete. That one is more of like not sci-fi, it's like a supernatural, like, horror-y. I wouldn't say it's that horror-ish, but it is classified as it being horror. That one's about a girl who is... She is the descendant of a celestial maiden called Ceres, and on her 16th birthday, Ceres enters her body and kind of takes her over, and then her twin brother is taken over by Ceres' ex-husband, I think it is, and yeah, that one was very interesting. I don't know whether I like that one more or less than Fushigi Yugi, but I do really like them both. And next to that is Our X Machine Gun, which is like one of my only sports manga that I have. I also have Netherist, but I really like Our X Machine Gun. I think it's really good. It's probably one of my favourite shonen series as well. And I have all of it, which is 18. There is a 18.5, which is like extra stories and like artwork and stuff, but I don't think I've ever seen that one in English. But yeah, this one is about airsoft, and it's very good. If you're interested in maybe reading like an airsoft manga, yeah, give it a go. The ending was a bit predictable, but I really like the journey. Next to that is Love in Focus. That's a 3-in-1. It's a romance with photography. And then let's pop you out of the way. Stepping on Roses 1 to 3. That one is also very dramatic. It's finished at 9, I think. I did really like it, but I haven't got around to finding more. And then Tail of the Moon is another one that I really like. That one's about ninjas, and I really want to find more of that because I really like those first 2 volumes. And the Death Note is just hanging off the shelf. There you go. Moving on to the front, I have my like little Kyo Shirodaya section. So first up is Inspector, which is my favourite series from him. This one is 1 to 20. I think 21 might be coming out soon, but this is like a supernatural mystery series with yokai and a girl who was taken as a kid and made into the she's made into the kind of the god of wisdom, where she solves problems with the yokai and stuff. She is, in the main story, she is 19. She looks a lot younger, but she is 19. Obviously 20. But yeah. I really like Inspector. And I really like her vulgar mouth as well. That's really funny. I just love Kotoko. I've got her Nendoroid down here, and she's just a very funny character, and she's vulgar without being sexualized. And I very like that as well, because I don't really like fan service or when female characters are over-sexualized, but she is vulgar and she's sexual, but she herself is not sexualized, so I really like that about her character as well. And yeah, she's just very funny and very smart, and yeah, I really like her. And then we have Fallen Vampire, 1 to 9. This is complete. This one is about vampires, and it is very good. It's kind of weird, especially when there's a certain thing introduced in Volume 4. Volume 4 was like my least favourite, but I really liked the series as a whole. The best parts were definitely the backstory and finding out about our main character's past and everything that went on. It's got mystery to it too. This author really writes. The speciality is mystery, but this one is like more of a action vampire mystery. And then I have Spiral, the Bonds of Reasoning 1 and 2. This is also Kyo Shirodaya. I only have the first 2. The series is quite difficult to find. But this one is also a mystery about this group of people called the Braid Children, and I think their thing was that they're all missing ribs or something, and then this is the main character, and he like solves mysteries. I think she's his assistant, and they solve mysteries, and then the biggest mystery is like the Braid Children. It was very interesting, and does also have an anime, which I would be interested in checking out. But yeah. Kyo Shirodaya has another series called Blast of Tempest, which I have the anime for. I haven't watched it, But I don't think the manga for that one is in English. If they did release it in English, I would definitely read it though. And then we have Love of Kill, 1 to 14, which 14 is after the file. That's like a bonus volume. This one was very good. It's like assassins, hitmen. Like, she is a hitman, and I think he is also a hitman, but I think he's self-employed where she works for a company. It was very good. I have his name wrote down here too, which I would have put on top, but it wouldn't fit, so he's below on the horror shelf. Same with Kuroko. And then we have Storm Kick Love 1 and 2, which is a adult romance. I think it's a shoujo, I don't think it's a josei, but the characters are adults. And yeah, they're both not great people, especially him, but I would normally not like this kind of thing, but I do really like this one for some reason. And yeah, it's good. And moving on down to the next two shows, which are all larger trim size volumes. I have more larger trim size at the bottom too, but I'm running out of space for larger trim size volumes, and every publisher seems to be making more of them these days. Anyway, this shelf here is got Sugar Apple Fairy Tale on the front. I picked these up in Animate in Ikebukuro when I was in Japan. I was very happy to find them because I really wanted to find a Sugar Apple Fairy Tale item, and I was struggling. And then on the final day, when we went back to Ikebukuro for the second time, because we loved the shops there the most, I found them in Animate, and yeah, I was so happy. The keyring I have over by the white novels I got vinted. We have Death Note 1 and 2, the black editions. I did enjoy these, and I want to get the rest. I just haven't got around to it yet. And Beauty and the Beast of Paradise Lost, 1 to 5. I very like that one. It's Karuyuki again. This one is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. It's kind of more of like a bit of a steampunk vibe, but also kind of more like gothic horror vibe as well. No, I think it's more gothic horror than steampunk. It's just that there's some like mechanical things in there as well. But yeah, Karuyuki specialises in like gothic sort of aesthetics, and yeah, this one was good. And if you were disappointed by the actual Beauty and the Beast, with the Beast turning back into a human at the end, then give this one a go. Stand up, cat. And then underneath that is I See Your Face Turned Away 1 to 3. That is a like unrequited love drama. I think it's currently on hiatus after volume 4, but I really like that one. I think that one was really good. And then is Sweat and Soap 1 to 11 complete. That's one of my favourite seinens. It sounds weird with the premise being about smelling, but it's actually very cute and wholesome, and I love it. And next to that is Home Office Romance, which is a one-shot by the author of Sweat and Soap. This one is about... It takes place during the pandemic, where they have to stay in their houses and they're working from home, and their neighbours, and they kind of meet because they're always out on the balconies. That one was very cute as well. Then we have Shibanban, Super Cute Doggies. This is just a full coma manga of cute little dog things. It's like 4 panels of just cute dogs. It's not much substance. It's really is just cute dogs, which I like dog manga because I want to support dog manga, because I think we need more in English. I just love dogs, and yeah, it's not something I would necessarily recommend because it doesn't have a story. It's just literally cute dogs doing cute things. But yeah, if you want to see cute dogs, give it a go. And then we have When a Magician's Pupil Smiles. This is the complete omnibus. This is one's about like a guy who can't feel emotions unless he kills people. So he kills people to feel emotion, and then he meets a girl who tries to teach him a different way to feel emotions. It was quite interesting. I don't remember much because I read it a while ago, but I remember liking it, and then Alice in the Country of Hearts 1, I've had that years, and I should probably just get rid of it, because I don't think I can even find the rest of my continue it, but I just, for some reason, I just can't seem to, even though I remember nothing about it, other than that it's based off an Otome game that's based off of Alice in Wonderland. I should reread it, and then maybe decide whether I should keep it or not. The next is Inuyasha. This is my favourite series from when I was a teenager. I first watched it when I think I was like 14. And I loved it. I was absolutely obsessed with Inuyasha. My walls were covered. I wrote a character guide. I wrote a weapons guide. I wrote down the name of every single episode and every single manga chapter in a notebook. And I still have them. But yeah, I drew very bad art of it. And this is actually the first series I ever read a fanfiction for. It's the first series I ever watched an AMV for. I was just very obsessed. And I still really like it. It's no longer my number one, but I still really like it. And obviously I have a lot of nostalgia for it. I never finished the manga. I only got up to 9, which is like halfway through. I would like to finish it someday, but it does take up quite a lot of space. And I've seen the anime I've watched the anime fully twice, and then just random episodes as well. So yeah, I do know how it ends. I know the final act of the anime didn't fully adapt the end of the manga. It left a lot out. So I would like to get to that point. I said I will definitely continue it eventually. It just takes up a lot of space. At this point, it's currently like the Band of 7 arc, which is a lot of people's favourite arc. It's not necessarily my favourite arc, but I do like it. But yeah, I'm not big into action battle shonen series, but this is one I will always love because of the nostalgia and everything behind it. And next to that is Mermaid Saga. This is also Rumiko Takahashi. This one's like a horror with mermaids. Next to that is Alice in Borderland 1 to 9. Very good manga. I do actually prefer the live action over the manga. I did recently watch Season 3, which was more recently released, and I did enjoy Season 3, but Season 3 does not adapt the manga. It's like its own thing. I think it's kind of loosely based off of Alice's Return to Borderland, but very, very loosely. And some of the games in it were from the manga that were missed out the first 2 seasons, but I did very enjoy Season 3. It was a bit pointless. I don't think it was necessary, but I did enjoy it. And I did enjoy the manga too. I just think the live action was a little bit better. Next is Takahashi from the Bike Shop. This is very cute. Josei romance. I have one too. Then Pet Shop of Horrors. This is an old Josei horror about a pet shop that sells like fantasy creatures to people and the trouble that causes. Then it's BL Metamorphosis 1 to 5. This is a cute slice of life about an old lady in her 80s who befriends a 17-year-old girl over their love for BL. It's very cute seeing this little old granny reading BL manga, and it's very nice. Definitely recommend it if you're a BL fan yourself. It's not a BL manga, it is a manga about people who like BL, which is why it's not on the BL shelf. But yeah, it's very good. And the granny is very nice. Then it's Calhoun Generic Romance 1 to 9. This is up to date. Very good sci-fi romance drama. It's like confusing at times, but it's very good. I think it's meant to be confusing. I don't think it's confusing because it's badly written or anything. It's confusing because it's meant to be. But yeah, very like this one. Then a couple of manga by Yu. It's hard to read upside down. Morikama. You have Rusiel or Rusiole. It's the French word for fireflies. Has a Dream. This one was really good, but it's on hiatus after volume 1. Sadly, and I'm like, bring it back. It was so good. And My Gemini is a one-shot. That one was good too. Not what I was expecting, but it was good. I think she's got another series out too. I think she might be the author of the Tengu one, but I'm not 100% sure. My Love Sick Wife is 90s Otaku. 1 to 4 complete Josei series. Well, it's kind of a romance, but not really. It's more about her reliving her past and going over what she was like in school as a attacker in the 90s. Shibuya Goldfish 1 to 3. This is a horror about giant goldfish that attack Shibuya. It was interesting and weird, but I enjoyed it. And I should get more, but it's not like a priority or anything. Secretly, I've been suffering about being sexless. This is a autobiography about the author's marriage and how she wanted to have more sex, whereas her husband was not as bothered. And it goes over the things she tried to do and to try and get him more interested in having more sex with her, and then the solution ended up being talking to him, which you would think would be the first thing she would think of rather than try to sneak aphrodisiacs in with coffee. But yeah. Then is 15 Minutes Before We Really Date 1 to 4. This is a very cute high school romance, and I really like the art for this one too. This one is super adorable. Happiness 1 and 2 by Shizuo Shumi. This is like a vampire series, bit like Tokyo Ghoul only with vampires, and Shizuo Shumi is the author, so you know what you're kind of getting. But yeah, I do want to read more of that, but I just haven't got around to it. Clean the Mirror is short stories by Rumiko Takahashi. Shrinkle Stars is the author of Fruits Basket. This is the series she did right after Fruits Basket. I've read this first one. I didn't find it as good as Fruits Basket, but I did still enjoy it. It's just a bit kind of hard to find more. I think it is out of print. But yeah, I have this first one. And then we have the magnificence that is the Fuba Shrine. It's not just Fruits Basket on this shelf, but this is my Fuba Shrine. It's glorious. So anyway, here is Fruits Basket 1 to 12, complete in the correct editions. I will be picking up the box set when it comes out because I think the volumes look really pretty, and I like the darker colours. I like the pastel colours of these volumes, but I like the darker colours of those volumes a bit more. Though I think I will be displaying them, maybe not getting rid of these because I still really like these, and just maybe put these away somewhere. But yeah, really looking forward to it coming out. I think it looks great. I know that opinion's controversial, but I personally really like the look of it and really want it. And up here is more Fuba stuff, because you can never have enough Fuba. These are the Japanese release of the 3 art books that were made to accompany the anime. If you can see, it's a bit dark. Let's with Tatsu Haru. Underneath that is a box of art cards that came with the DVDs. Then underneath that is the Fruits Basket Uncovered, The Secret of the Somas, Mysteries and Secrets Revealed. That is an unofficial fan book. It's not like... the information in it is not 100% accurate, and there are some things that are blatantly incorrect, but it is still cool to have as like an item in my Fuba collection because it was something that did exist and was published. There was like loads of these things published for different series. I know there was one for Nana and a bunch of like shonen series. And then there's the Cat fan book, which is the official fan book, and the Banquet fan book, and then a teaser like Fruits Basket and Friends, which is the first chapter of a bunch of different Tokyo Pop manga. That's the sticker collection, and then that's the Piranha, and then this is the English release for the art book that I have up the top there. It's bigger in scale and all-in-one. There is a notebook that was released by Tokyo Pop too, which is the only thing I'm missing. Anyway, then I have Fruits Basket, another 1 to 4. This is fine. I like the another parts. I didn't like the Three Musketeers arc at all, but I think it was alright. If you're a big fan of Fruits Basket, read it. It's like nice to see their kids, but it's not necessarily a must read. We have the DVDs up here too in this nice box. And then Perfect World 1 to 12. This is complete. This is a drama about a guy who is in a wheelchair and a woman who knew him when he was in school, and she had a crush on him, and now she's kind of still has a crush on him, but it's kind of like navigating the challenges that come with him being a wheelchair user. It's very good. It's a bit over dramatic in the middle, but I still one of my favourite joseis. And then Sheltering Eves, there is the same author. This one's about a children's home and two teenagers who are getting to the age now where they're going to have to leave the children's home and the anxieties around that. And then How I Met My Soulmate 1 to 4. I think 5 is out, but I really like that one too. That's a college romance. And we'll move away from the Food of the Shrine over to the horror section. Well, mostly Junji Ito. There's horror spread elsewhere too. But yeah, here we have PTSD Radio Volume 1. That one is quite strange, but it was interesting. There is a couple more volumes that I need to pick up, and then it was like cancelled. And then we have Doubt 1 and 2. This is a very good one that I've read a long time ago, but yeah, if you like sort of mysteries, horrors, then give this one a go. It was very good. And Ibitsu is like a one-shot horror series. And then over here, moving down, is Kazuo Ume's. Kazuo Ume's The Drifting Classroom 1 to 3. That's complete in the omnibuses. Orochi, complete in the omnibuses. Then up here is the first 3 volumes of My Name is Shingo, and the first one of Cat Eye Boy. This is completed too, but I haven't picked up the second one yet. Out of all Kazuo Ume's, I like this one the least, which is why I haven't rushed to get the second one. And then up the top there is Dissolving Classroom, which is Junji Ito. Then we have Tomie, Uzumaki, Gyo. These are like the 3 most well-known Junji Ito's. These are like longer works. And then we have like his short stories with Shiver, Frankenstein, Smashed, Rub Sickness, Deserter, Tombs, Soichi, and Ali. I have got a couple more of these on the way. For Halloween, I like to read horror on Halloween. It usually turns out being Junji Ito. And then Fragments of Horror, Venus in the Blind Spot, Ramina. This is a not short stories, and neither is Sensor. I didn't actually enjoy these 2 as much as his other works, but I keep them because it's a part of the collection, and I have all but the Cat Diaries from Junji Ito, because that one's like a comedy. Then Museum of Terror is Deserter. These 2 are the same thing, but this is the original release. I did buy this before this came out, but it's volume 3 because the first 2 volumes of Museum of Terror were just Tomie. It's called The Long Hair in the Attic, but it's the exact same stories that are in here. But this one has a different translation, and I do kind of... This is the one I read rather than this one, because I had this one first. But I do like the names of the stories in here. Like Den at the Sweet Demon. I like that name more than the name they changed it to in this one. Then No Longer Human, which is Junji Ito's adaptation of the Osamu Dazai novel. The Liminal Zone, I've got volume 2 of this on the way. And then Black Paradox, which is another long... It's not a short story. Well, it is a short story, but it's the entire volume. And then Mimi's Tales of Terror, which is a manga adaptation of this person's short stories. But yeah, that is everything on the Junji Ito shelf. And I'm going to break to eat dinner, and then I'm going to be back to do the rest. We got like these 3 levels left. But yeah, I'm going to take a break now to have dinner, and then I will be back to film more in a bit. Which will, again, it'll be seconds for you. So yeah. And go. Right, I'm back again and ready to continue going around the shelves. So this is like... This shelf has a lot of manual on it. So like... It's not everything on the shelf is manual though. And a bunch of K-pop Demon Hunters. Okay, so behind the key rings is Raw, A Star in the Abyss. Volume 1. I really enjoyed this first volume, and definitely want to be getting more of this. It's like a revenge story. And then Ayakashi Hunter's Tainted Bride 1 to 3, another one I really like. It reminds me a bit of like My Happy Marriage and stuff like that. Then To Strip the Fresh, this is a short story collection. So I like some of the stories more than others. The first story is probably the best one. Then it's Freaking Romance 1 and 2. This is a OEL. I think the author is American, but this is like, it's like a supernatural romance. And then if I move my stickers and this, I have The Witch and the Beast 1 and 2. It's like a supernatural sort of, it's kind of revengey and sort of a bit mysterious as well. I did really like this first two. And I have 5, but I just need to get 3 and 4. But I don't have 5 on the shelf because I don't want to see gaps in the numbers. So I just keep it in the cart until I end up getting 3 and 4. And then there's Bastard, which is the start of the manhwa. That one is a horror thriller sort of manga about a kid whose father is a serial killer and he has to like help him, but he doesn't really want to, but he has no choice, basically. Then the rest is all manhwas. Well, this one's an OEL. We have The Missing O, which is a steamship manhwa. That one is very good. Definitely check it out if you want a bit more of a explicit steamship. There wasn't as much in Void 2, but there will be in the future. Werewolves Going Crazy Over Me is another steamship. This one is an OEL. Then we have The Lady and the Butler, Volume 1. Business Proposal 1 and 2. See You in My 90 by 1 to 3. And What's Wrong with Secretary Kim, Volume 1. These are all like romances. These 3 are like office romances. This one's like more just like with a made to live together. But out of all these romance manhwa, See You in My 95 is my favourite one. I just need to get around to getting more. And then Bloody Sweet is a manhwa. It's like romance with vampires and she's a shaman. That has completed 4 volumes, but I haven't got 3 or 4 yet. They are out. Why Leona ends up at the Duke's Mansion, Volume 1. I watched the anime for that one. Omnipotent Reader's Viewpoint 1 and 2. That's another one I really liked and need to get more of. And then The Horizon 1. That one's finished at 3 and they're super quick reads, so I should maybe at some point pick up 2 and 3. It is really depressing though. It's not happy at all. But yeah, that's like the little manhwa section. Oh, Rowan. You have returned. And are you going again? He knows how to open doors. Robin, are you coming in? Just need to teach him how to shut them after him. Back to the shelves. On this shelf I have Wotakoi, Love is Hard for Otaku, 1 to 6 complete. This is a Josei otaku romance. This one's good. I like Wotakoi. Then I have 4 shoujo stories and Love Song. These are like super old shoujo releases by Viz Media. In fact, this one here was the first shoujo manga that was ever released in English. He's back again. Originally, these 4 were released individually in like thin comic book style, but this is the first time we had an actual volume of shoujo manga released in English, and it didn't last very long because Viz didn't actually have permission to publish these 4 short stories into a collection together. So due to copyright issues, Viz had to take this off shelves, so it didn't like have a very long shelf life. and therefore the copies that were originally on shelves were obviously sold, but then it had to be taken off shelves because Viz did not have permission for this. And yeah, so it was quite a limited release, and it is quite difficult to get a hold of, but I did manage to find it on eBay for a price. It was over retail, but it was not too expensive, so I was like, I really want to pick this up. It's like a part of shoujo history. One of the stories in here is They Were 11, which out of the 4 is actually the only shoujo story in here. The other 3 are actually josei. So yeah, I'm very happy to have this. And then Love Song was the second shoujo manga ever released by Viz Media, and this one is 4 stories by Keiko Nishi. They did have permission to publish this one, and Keiko Nishi is the person who published Promise and Since You've Been Gone, so these are josei stories as well, I do believe. But yeah, this one is 4 short stories by Keiko Nishi. I liked some of them more than others. They were Love Song, Jewels at the Seaside, The Signal Goes Blink Blink, and The Skin of Her Heart. Signal Goes Blink Blink was one of my least favourite, or maybe Love Song. I like Jewels at the Seaside and The Skin of Her Heart more. But I think Jewels at the Seaside was my favourite out of the 4. And the next one they released after this was Moto Hagio's AA Prime, which I'm still searching for. I would like to own that one though. But yeah, they are like 2 of the rarest manga in my collection, as well as probably some of the oldest. Not oldest in terms of Japanese release, because I do have stuff that was published in the 70s. I mean oldest as in terms of English release. And this also contains They Were 11, which I have the one up there for. When it comes to Sleeping Beauty 1 to 6, this one's very good. It's by the author of A Condition Called Love. I did not enjoy A Condition Called Love. I dropped it after volume 2 because I didn't like the male lead. But I really like this one. This one's like, involves ghosts, and it's very good. Here's Medalist 1 to 6. I don't think this is up to date. This is the other sports manga that I have in the collection, other than Aha Race Machine Gun. Yep. Be really been enjoying Medalist. Super good. Then we have Stargazing Dog. This is a one-shot. This is a super sad one-shot, and if you don't like sad stuff that revolves around animals, I would not recommend it. This one is... well, you kind of know what's going to happen from the start, because the manga starts with a couple of policemen finding a car abandoned in a field, and in this car is the body of a man and a small dog. And the dog died several months after the man. And then it kind of flashes back to the man and this dog, and it tells the story of how they ended up there. But it's told from the dog's perspective rather than the man's perspective. It was very good, but it was also obviously very sad, because you know both the man and the dog are going to die. Next is Made in Abyss 1 to 11. I really enjoyed the anime for Made in Abyss. I like season 1. I like the film. I haven't seen season 2. I like the manga as well. I wasn't as keen on the latest arc as I was on the rest of the series, but the arc has ended now, so volume 11 starts a new arc, so I don't know whether that arc will like improve again, but I'm on the fence about whether I should get rid of this or whether I should keep it, because I do need space for larger trim size volumes, and this is one I'm not as bothered about anymore. I do have the Nendoroid Finality, so I might sell this. If I do sell this, I'll probably sell the Nendoroid too. But I'm undecided whether I actually want to continue it yet. I will figure that out at some point. If you see it go up for sale on Vinted, then you know I've decided to sell it. But for now, I'm keeping it. I just might get sold in the future if I really do need to have more space. Next is number 6, which is a BL sci-fi series, which should be on the BL shelf. I don't know why it's not on the BL shelf. I just randomly put it here. I have the Nendoroids too. I really like number 6. I suppose it is kind of more focused on the sci-fi than it is the BL, but it does have a BL relationship in it. So I would have wanted it on the BL shelf. I don't know why I put it here. Maybe I should move it to the BL shelf. That'll give me a little bit of room. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know why it ended up here. I just think I put it here unconsciously, thinking, like, it's on the BR shelf. But it's here. For some reason. Anyway, right, number 6, it was very good. And obviously, the Ninja is very cute too. I like his little rats. And then we have Mermaid Tales in the Tower Sand. This is a Josei. It's 2 volumes, so it's complete in this omnibus. This one is like a drama. It involves our like mermaids. And then we have my Kei-sanbei area. We have Island in a Puddle 1 to 5. This is complete. These are all like mystery thrillers. Erase 1 and 2, this is not complete. This is complete in 5 volumes. I have watched the anime though, so I do know the full story, so I'm not in a hurry to get the rest of the manga, although I would like it eventually. For the Kid I Saw in My Dreams, this is complete at 11 volumes. And then the 13th Footprint, which is his new release, which has just come out. This one was very good, and I'm looking forward to continuing it. Then I have some mini manga to go over here. This one is Lovely Complex. I got this one out of a gachapon machine while in Japan. Then I had the Hana to Yume collection. I got all of them in a set on eBay. So there's Fruits Basket. This one is Baby and Me. This one is Glass Mask. I mainly just wanted Fruits Basket and the Owner of the Dawn, but I could only either get them as a full set or individual, and I was having a hard time finding Fruits Basket and Yona at the Dawn as individual, so I just thought I'll just get the full set. This one is Please Save My Earth. This is Tomonkon's B-side, which I'm happy to own this one now because I have since getting these started reading Tomonkon's B-side and I really liked it, so I'm also quite happy that I did get the full set and I now have that one. Here's Yona the Dawn, and then these 2 I found on Vinted. This is High School Debut, and this is It Is All in a Kiss. So yeah, that's some tiny little mini mangas. I made this book for myself out of card. I should have made it like 3 stories, but I only really needed to be 2, so it's fine. But I would like to find some more of these. I know there's a Honey Lemon Soda one, and I know there's like a Daytime Fusion Star one. So maybe I could track those down. Comfortable. Next we have the shelf. And here is Momo Boy 1 to 5. This is complete. This is an older shoujo series. Reprinted by 70s. It was originally Tokyo Pop. But yeah, this one's like step siblings, and it's kind of strange. The situation's like, how the hell did they end up in this sort of situation? But it's good. Then Nina the Storybride 1 to 8. I think 9 is out as well, but I really like Nina. I think it's a really good Josei fantasy series, and I have some merch as well. Yeah, I'm definitely enjoying it. Then we have Ice Guy and the Cool Girl 1 to 10. This is another one of my favourite Joseis. I really love this series. It's so cute. It's so sweet. And it's just adorable. And the artwork is so good. Then Oh Maidens in Your Savage Season 1 and 2. I really like the anime for this one. The anime does cover the entire story, so I haven't been in a rush to get the rest of the manga. But I do plan to finish it at some point because I do really like the series. But I said that since I know everything from the anime, I'm in no hurry. But yeah, it's about teenage girls, like, going through, not necessarily puberty, but awakening to their, like, sexualities, basically. Yeah, it's very good. It's by Mari Okuda. She did the Makia film. Next, down on the bottom here, we have My Brain is Different. Stories of ADHD and other developmental disorders. This one was really good and relatable. Especially the first story. And then I have Don't Call It Mystery, 1 to 14. You only see 1 to 12 here, but 14, the other ones here. I just haven't made room to put it away yet, but I do have it. This is probably my favourite Josei series ever. I absolutely adore it. It's a mystery. The mysteries are so interesting, they're so fun. I love Totoro, I love how quirky he is. I love how he just seems to know random shit. Yeah, I love this series a lot. It's great. Then is another autobiographical manga, I Don't Know How to Give Birth. This is the mangaka's story about her first child and how she got pregnant with her first child and the pregnancy and birth and stuff. It was quite interesting. Then we have Children of the Whales. This manga probably has my favourite artwork of everything that I've ever read. I think these are from the anime, these keyrings, but you can still see how good the artwork is. The covers especially, I love the cover art and the hands, and it's a fantasy shoujo series about people who live on this mud whale, which is like a floating island in the sea of sand. And there's two groups of people. There's the marked, who have a power called Thymia, which is like telekinesis, they can move stuff with their mind. And then there's the unmarked, who don't have any powers. And the unmarked live long, normal lives, whereas the marked tend to die young. They tend to only reach about 25, 30. And they don't know why this is, but they think it's the case for everybody. But then they meet a girl from outside of the mud whale. They find her stranded on another island and they take her in. That's this girl here. And she is a marked. And she tells them, no, that's not normal. Marked on the outside live normal lives. So you dying young is not something to do with you being marked. It must be something to do with the mud whale itself that you live on. Because all the marked on the outside, that's not the case. And then, like, the mud whale ends up getting attacked by this group of people calling themselves the Empire. And then there's like this whole thing as a like mystery, and this whole thing that gets revealed, and it's very good. I would highly recommend it. And then we have Living Room Matsunaga-san 1 to 11. This is complete. This is another age gap romance that takes place in a boarding house. And moving along to the next shelf. Up here is a short story collection called One More Step Comes Stand By My Side. I like some of the stories more than others, but I enjoyed it in general. Starbus Family, this was a very interesting sci-fi series. Gene Bride, another very interesting sci-fi series. I had a lot of theories about this one. If you watch my reading vlog, I went over all my theories about what I think is going on in this series, and then once I read volume 2 and onward, I will see if they were right or whether I was just going in the complete wrong direction. But yeah, it was definitely interesting first volume. Reliving My Life with a Boyfriend Who Doesn't Remember Me. This is a angst romance fantasy magic school series about she's reliving her life but her boyfriend doesn't remember her. Basically the title explains it, and she's trying to figure out how he died and make him fall for her again. Then Fushigi Yugi by Yuritase. This is the complete series. This is like old shoujo fantasy. It's like isekai. Back when isekai wasn't oversaturated and mostly in shoujo. It is very good. It's quite nostalgic. I watched it as a teenager and then read it. And I also have Tamahome here. Then we have A Sign of Affection. I have some like art there. This is 1 to 10. I think 11 is out, or possibly coming out, or yeah. It's very good, it's very cute. It's very wholesome. I really like this one. Then it's Form of False Angels 1. I do need to get more of this. I did enjoy volume 1. And then Hotori Hotate First Kiss. This is the short story collection by this author, and I really liked this one too. It's really good short stories. Considering they are just short stories, they make you really like the couples, even though you don't get a lot of time with them. Then A Polar Bear in Love, volume 1. This one's also technically BL, but it's about a polar bear who falls in love with a baby seal. Bit weird, but I like polar bears. Then it's To Your Eternity 1 to 20. I think this finishes at 25. So I'm 5 volumes off the end. I did stop correcting it because I was getting a bit tired of it, but now I know it's ended, and I have invested 20 volumes into the series. I do want to see the end, so I probably will read the final 5. Whether I've picked them up physically or whether I just read them online, I don't know. But I do want to see how the series ends, because I have invested a lot of volumes into it. But yeah, I don't know if I want it to stay in my collection once I do finish it. This might be another one that gets sold to make space. But I do definitely want to somehow find out the rest of the story, because I put so much time into it. I did actually enjoy the anime for this one a lot more than the manga. Some slower paced series like Snow White, the Red Hare, To Your Eternity, Spice and Wolf, I tend to prefer watching them over reading them. And then there's some My Happy Marriage and Androids and Shao. And some Love and Deep Space. This is not even the extent of the Love and Deep Space collection. This is just a little corner of it because, yeah, I have a Cyrus shrine. And I'm only slightly obsessed. Anyway, moving on from Love and Deep Space, we are going to go down here. And it's a bit dark down here, especially in this corner because the window's blocked by magazines. But here is Honey Lemon Soda 128. I think 9 has just come out. I really love Honey Lemon Soda. I think it's great. I really like the anime too, and I'm glad it got a second season, because I thought it was very good. Then Call the Name of the Night 1 to 5. That's complete. That's a magical, whimsical, sane and slice of lifey series. Caterpillar Girl and Bad Texter Boy. That is a one-shot, kind of a romance, but kind of just depressing. Where you would think by the premise it's a comedy, but it is not. We have a girl and a boy, and she likes him, but he turns her down because he thinks that she's far too perfect for him, and that she is out of his league. And then, in order to make herself less perfect, she turns herself into a giant caterpillar. So, like, she's no longer considered perfect, and then she thinks, will you date me now that I'm a giant caterpillar? And yeah, things go from there, but it's definitely not a comedy. It's quite sad. Then we have Everyone's Getting Married, Volume 1. I haven't continued this one, but I did like Volume 1. Pink and Habanero 1 and 2. I think I've ordered Volume 3. I really like this one. I think this is like one of my new favourite romances that came out recently. I do like that one. I think I ordered Volume 3. I know it is out. I didn't realise, because I went to Manchester last month and I picked up some volumes in Travelling Man, and when I went back to watch the video I filmed, I didn't upload this video to YouTube because there was loud music in the background, and it probably would have been copyrighted, so I just didn't bother uploading it. So I was filming though in the shop, and when I went back to watch the video, I saw that they had Volume 3, and I was like, why didn't I notice that when I was there? I would have picked that up. Well, whatever. I've ordered it off Sci-Fi. Then it's From the Red Fog. That one was good, but the ending was kind of rushed. I think it might have been cancelled because the artwork took like a dip in the final volume, and it kind of ended in a place where, like, why wasn't this continued? But yeah, I enjoyed reading it. It's like Victorian, dark, cringy, horror-y stuff, where he's like the son of a serial killer, and he himself is also a serial killer, but he's only like 11. Then Lovey Muka 1 to 4, there's just cute dog antics with this little Shiba Inu called Muku, who lives with her owner in a small village, and just the antics she gets up to. This is 17 volumes long in Japan. I'm not sure whether these are actually 2-in-1s or whether these are just singles, because there's always like a bit in the middle which kind of seems like the start of another volume. So I don't know whether these are actually 2-in-1s or not, or whether they're just singles. If they are 2-in-1s, that would be 8 volumes we have in English. But Volume 5 was supposed to come out like a couple of years ago, I think, and we never actually got it, so I don't know what happened with this series. But it's not really a series you won't necessarily need to continue, because it is just like antics with this dog. There's no like continuing plot, but I would have liked to continue it because this manga is so cute. But I won't be too disappointed if we never get any more, because as I said, it's not really a continuing story, but I really liked it. Imperfect Girl 1 to 3. This is originally by Nisho Ishin. This one's a bit strange. There's this college student, he is never named. And this little girl, who is also never named. And he witnesses her do something weird. And so she kidnaps him and locks him in her cupboard, and he decides, I'm just going to go along with this, because she is literally like 6 years old. He could easily overpower her and escape, but he's like, whatever, I'll just stay in her cupboard. And yeah, it was quite interesting and weird, but I enjoyed it. By the Biomaster 1 to 3, I've mentioned the light novel before. Merman in My Tub 1 and 2, this is like a guy finds a merman and takes him home, and then he refuses to leave the bath, and then he's basically just living in his bath. My Dog is a Death God. This one was supposed to be getting a volume 2 as well, but I think it was pushed back, because it was supposed to come out a couple months ago, I think, but I see no sign of it. But it's dog manga. This Death God takes on the body of a golden retriever and goes to people who are nearing death to kind of help them through the process. So yeah, he's not very good at his job, so as a punishment he's told to become a dog, basically. And then we have I Had That Same Dream Again. This is the manga adaptation of the light novel. Again, very good. I would recommend it. And then Devil's Line 1 to 7. This is a seinen vampire. Well, it's kind of vampires, but they're not really called vampires. Yeah, it was good. And I think 7 is where the anime actually ended, so I haven't actually gone past that. I think it is recently gotten a sequel, though. I'm going to quickly do this bottom shelf before moving on to the bigger shelves, just whilst I'm sitting in this corner. Okay, so here I've just shoved these sideways because I said I have no room. So this is... Oops. Hell is Dark with No Flowers. That's like a supernatural one. Spacewalking with You, which is Slice of Life. Buddy story about 2 neurodivergent teenagers. And then Robo Sapiens, which is a short story collection, but they're all kind of related to each other. It's like a sci-fi. Yeah, everything's going on the floor now. Get in the hole. Come on, get in there. And then here is I'll Forget You Starting Today, Senpai. This is a 2-volume long Josei office romance where she goes to a dating agency and ends up the person who's working there is her first crush from school who broke her heart. I really like this one and I'm really looking forward to volume 2. I thought it was very good. If I can get it back on the shelf. Then last quarter I just read volume 2 yesterday. This is the only Iwazora manga I have in my collection. It's probably the only Iwazora manga I'll ever have in my collection because I don't really want to read Nana with it not having an ending, and I don't really like reading stuff that's to do with like makeup or fashion, so I don't have any interest in Neighborhood Story or Paradise Kiss. Then we have Hatsune Mix, which is an unofficial Vocaloid manga, just short stories revolving around the Krypton future media Vocaloids like Miku, Luca, Rin, Kaito, and Mako. The most well-known popular ones. There is other Vocaloids by other companies, they're just the most recognisable ones. And behind here is Love on the Other Side and Monochrome Brew by Nogabe. These are both BL. No, wait, no, they're not. Love on the Other Side is short stories. Some of them are BL. Some of them are not, but they're always like evolve around a human and an animal. Then Monaco and Brew is a BL. I don't keep this one on the BL shelf deliberately because I wanted to put it with the other Nagabe one. There is another one called The Wise Beasts of the Wizarding Wisdoms, which is also a BL, which I haven't got, and there's a new one coming out called Eat, which is also a BL. But this one's between a cat and a wizard. Then we have In the Cream Room, it does go on to 7. I don't think this is up to date. I think 8 might be out. But I like this one. Then we have Lord Hades' Ruthless Marriage, 1 to 3. This is Hades and Persephone retelling. Then The Walking Cat, A Cat's Eye View of the Zombie Apocalypse. I don't tend to get cat manga. I'm not a big cat person. So, but this one sounded interesting because it's like zombies, but it's from the perspective of a cat, and it was quite good. I quite enjoyed it. Nothing happens to the cat, so if you're reluctant to read it because you think something's going to happen to the cat, it doesn't. The cat's fine. The people, on the other hand, not so much. Gazing at the Store Next Door is good. I like that one. I have 1 to 4. That is a romance with an upcoming actor. Summertime Rendering, I very enjoyed this first volume. It's like horror-ish, mystery-ish. I did want to get more. I just haven't got round to it yet. There was the whole thing with the hardbacks and I originally ordered the hardback, but it got pushed back and I didn't know whether it was actually coming out, so I got the paperback, and then the hardbacks did come out, but whatever, I will get more at some point. And then Pop Opposites Attract, which is a dog manga about... It's a romance between 2 dog owners. Why are they backwards? Yes. Why is Volume 2 before Volume 1? I'm going to have to fix that, or this is going to annoy me all day. Come in. Come on, get in the right spot. That's better. Get in there. There we go. Everything's right now. Put Miku back. Put this quarter back. Everything on the shelf is so cramped. Put you back. And then in the front here I have A Tale of Terror Volume 1. I really like this one. It's finished at 4 volumes. I'm definitely picking up the rest. I think I have actually ordered the second one. I'm not sure. Fairy at God's Call. This is another one I really liked. It's a shoujo, like, fantasy school setting with some, like, action. And also, if you're a fan of the Apothecary Diaries, this one is by the same author as the light novel, Natsu Hyuga. She didn't do the manga adaptation, but she did write the original light novel for this, and she also wrote the light novel for the Apothecary Diaries. So yeah, if you like the Apothecary Diaries, this is the same creator, so maybe you'll like this one too. I really enjoyed it. It's nothing like the Apothecary Diaries, it's just the same person did it. And then we have The Strange House 1 and 2. This is very good mystery, like, about floor plans and stuff. I did want to order Volume 3, but it was out of stock. And then The 100 Ghost Stories That Will Lead to My Own Death is about a boy who sits in his room every night telling 100 ghost stories, so every night he'll tell a different story, and once he's told the 100th story, it's supposed to lead to his own death. You don't know why he's telling the stories, he just tells one every night, and each chapter is a different one of the stories. So this obviously going to be 10 volumes because there's 10 chapters per volume, so this has the first 10 stories in it. And now we'll go here to this shelf. Oops. At the back there is Dead Man Wonderland. That's complete at 13. Very like that. It's a like horror. It's very gory. If you don't like gore, maybe avoid that one. But I enjoyed that one. I like the anime too. This is kind of the Yona shelf. I have a bunch of keyrings of the dragons and Hack here. There is a Yona one from this set, but the Sarah on Vinted didn't have the Yona one. But I do have this Yona one. And Hack. and these. And, I don't know, and Hack in a glass of water, which I found to be cute. I got that in Japan. Anyway, next is Astro Lost in Space. That's a short shonen series about... it's kind of like a mystery space travel series where they on a spaceship and one of them's like a traitor and they have to figure out who it is. And there's like a twist in it as well. It's very good. Waiting for Spring. I have read the entirety of that one on digitally. It's like the only manga I've ever read digitally, apart from one other one. And that one was with the light. That one I have read. That's why I only have the first two physically, because at the time everything was out of stock and I wanted to read it. And no, I ordered it from eBay, the complete set, but the seller cancelled my order and that like annoyed me. So I was like, I'm just going to read it digitally because it's the only way I'm going to be able to read it right now. And then I started picking it up as it came back into stock, but I only got the first two for now, as I say, because I have already read it. But I liked it enough to correct it physically. That is... everything's on the floor. Right. Hack. Stay on the shelf. Or not. Anyway, Sweet for Sweets and Foreigners is next there. That is a short josei series about a woman who works in a confectionery company and the Frenchman, I think he is, who she's working with. Yeah, for some reason Hack does not want to stay on the shelf. And then we have Whoever Steals This Book 1, 2 and 3. That is complete. That is quite a good one about travelling inside of books. And I know it is getting a film adaptation soon. I think it comes out soon. Then Essay or Special A. I really liked the anime for that one back in the day. And I started picking up the manga, but I only ever got the first two. Oh look. Hack staying on the shelf. Then LDK. No, do not fall. Do not fall. I've only just gotten you. Just... oh, bloody hell. Never mind, I'll just leave it on the floor. Anyway, LDK is... stands for Living, Dining, Kitchen. That's like a romance where they're forced to live together. But I think Karaja cancelled that one. I'm not sure. Or at least it got 3-in-1s because it didn't sell well. But I enjoyed Volume 1 quite a lot. I didn't enjoy 2 and 3 as much, so I never went past that. But I've been humming and hawing about getting rid of this one for a while, but I just... something about it I just can't bring myself to, so it's just sat there for years. Never continued. Maybe I will at some point, or maybe it'll just eventually... I will get rid of it, but I just can't bring myself to get rid of it for some reason, and I don't particularly know why. Then there's Not Your Idol 1 and 2. That was on hiatus. It has now come back off hiatus and Volume 3 has just come out. So I'm looking forward to picking that up because I did really like that. And then Skip Beat, the first omnibus, and the second one is over there. Because I haven't read it yet. But I like the anime for Skip Beat, so I started picking up the manga. And let's move Little Hack a minute. And then we have Laughing Under the Clouds, 1, 2, 6. That's complete. That's a shoujo, like, action fantasy series. It's really good. I highly enjoyed it. I really liked the artwork too, and the anime. So, yeah. And I had the art book earlier. And then Maid Sama, the first two omnibuses. I liked the anime for that when I watched it as a teenager. But, yeah, I've never got around to getting past the second omnibus. And now I have to put this back on the shelf. And Hack. There you go, Hack. And now for the main part of the shelf, which is like Yona of the Dawn 1 to 43. I think 44 has just come out. By the way, I love Yona. It's one of my favourite fantasy series. And yeah, it's great. Most people know what Yona is. And then The Witch's House, The Diary of Eren, Volumes 1 and 2. This is complete. This is based off an RPG Maker horror game. This is like the prequel to the game. It is a horror, obviously. If you are interested in reading this one, I would highly recommend playing the game first, because this does spoil the game. There is a big twist in the game if you get the proper ending. And that is completely spoiled if you read this first, so I would recommend playing the game first, but this definitely expands on the lore, and if you are a fan of the game, I would recommend reading it. Or if you're not interested in the game and you just want to read a good horror. Let's go to the next shelf. Here we have Codebreaker. That one was cancelled after 2 volumes, but I like the anime, so when I saw volume 1, I just like, I'm gonna pick it up. Her Majesty's Dog, that one was alright. I got it off Sci-Fi, it wasn't expensive. And then Shinobi Life I really enjoyed. I know that series was cancelled in English, and I would like to read more, but it is also worked very well as a one-shot if I never find any more. Because the way Volume 1 ended, I reckon it might have originally been a one-shot and then continued. But yeah, I really liked it. And I would definitely read more of that one. It's about a ninja who comes back from the past into modern day. And then meets, I think it's the reincarnation of his lover. Who was the daughter of like a mafia family. Or I think, something like that. Then we have a silent voice, which is 1, 2, 7 complete. I'm pretty sure everyone knows what a silent voice is. Then we have Library Wars 1 to 15 complete. I love Library Wars. It's one of my favourites. I found this at a convention at SunnyCon in Newcastle. And they were selling the complete set. It was about, I don't know, it's probably 70 for the complete set, something like that. It wasn't bad. And I knew nothing about the series, I'd never heard of it before, but I picked up the first volume, I skimmed through it, I read the back, and I was like, sounds very interesting, so I thought, I'm going to take a chance, and I'm just going to buy the set. And I did, and I had to carry it on the convention with me for the rest of the day. But yeah, really glad I bought it, loved it, one of my favourites back then, still one of my favourites now. It's about a girl called Iku, who as a teenager was trying to buy a book, but in this world there's this company called the Media Betterment Committee who are trying to ban and censor books. And then there's the Library Task Force who rescue books and put them in the library so they're free for anyone to read completely how they were meant to be read. And Iku has a book taken from her in a bookshop because it's on the ban list, and a Library Task Force member comes in and stops this from happening and gives her the book. And ever since she's admired the Library Task Force, and now at the age of 23, she has joined the task force and is training to be a soldier who fights for the freedom of books. Along with her instructor, who is Dojo, who is this guy. But yeah, it's also a romance, it's very good. We have a case study of Vanitas 1 to 10. I think 11 is out soon, but yeah, I really like Vanitas. It's like steampunk vampires in France. And then Pandora Hearts 1 to 4. I don't like this as much as Vanitas, but I did like these first 4. I've read these first 4 volumes like 3 times because I keep like, I want to get more, but I want to reread these ones first because I don't remember what happened, and I've done that like 3 times and I still haven't got more. I really wanted the box set, but the box set isn't available in the UK. Horimiya 1 to 3. I watched the anime and I enjoyed it, so I started picking up the manga, but I only got the first 3. And then Your Former 1 and 2. I really love this. Need to get volume 3. And there's Vulpix. Vulpix is my favourite Pokemon. And there's Ninetales. These are very old. I've had these for years. And then here is Inobaka Crazy for Dogs 1 to 14. This series are cancelled in English after volume 17. So I am missing 15, 16 and 17 to have it complete in English. And it was 22 volumes in total in Japan, but those last 5 were never translated. And I cannot find them online anymore either, so I might just have to buy them in Japanese and like look at the pictures. But it's about a girl who works in a pet shop with lots of dogs. There is some unnecessary fan service in this series, which is quite annoying, but the cute dogs make up for it. And then we have Kaguya-sama Lovers War 1 to 28. That is complete. This is one of my favourite seinen manga. It's where they're trying to get the other one to confess their feelings first. And again, this is another one which I did find quite funny. And moving on to this shelf. Just scoot along the floor. Behind the Kanto starter Pokemon, if I move my Charmander, is South at the End, Gaunt Ichinose Catastrophe at 16, Light Novels 1, 2, 4. These ones are 2 in 1, so it's kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in total. That's complete. That's the light novel prequel to South at the End. Then it's South at the End, Gaunt Ichinose Resurrection at age 19, 1 and 2. I have a feeling this one was cancelled because it's listed as complete online at 2 volumes, but it's definitely not complete, so I think that one was actually cancelled. And then it's Gaunt Ichinose Catastrophe at 16. Manga adaptation 1 to 3. I kind of stopped correcting this because I did prefer the light novel. I think the manga put in some unnecessary fan service which wasn't in the light novel from what I remember. There was some, but it definitely wasn't as much as what was in the manga, so I kind of stopped it for now, but I might go back to it because I do really like South at the End. But this is a different artist to the manga, and the manga's right, the manga is just, I prefer the artist of the manga. And then South at the End, which is a shonen series I've been reading since it started coming out in English. It's about vampires, and well, more than vampires now, but it started out being about vampires, but I really enjoy it. It is 1 to 31. I think 32 is out. I think it's in the final arc now. Everything does seem to be coming to a close, and all the questions seem to be getting answered now. We've just had a big backstory and stuff. This is Natsuki Takiya's Songs to Make You Smile. It's the short stories from the author of Fruits Basket. It came in a bundle with the Tokyo Pop fan books and stuff. And then Angels of Death 1 is a adaptation of a RPG Maker game. It does have an anime as well. And then Imakoi 129 complete. This is a cute one. It's he's like delinquent looking, but he's not. He's actually very sweet, and yeah, it's a cute one. Completely different to Wolfgang Backpins, which is her other series, where this one's quite toxic. He's an arse. She is also not the best, but I like it. I liked the anime back in the day, and I'm glad when it was licensed, because we've had the anime out for a long time, and I was like, this really should have an English release, and it didn't, but now it does. So yeah, it's quite toxic. If you're not into that, or complete douchebag male reads, then avoid this one, but I really like it. And I read Volume 11 recently. It's complete at, I think, 16 or 17. Sensei's Pious Lie, this is complete at 4. This one's kind of like Shuzo Ishimi-esque. Like, but this one's written by a woman, so it's like a female Shuzo Ishimi, kind of. By the way, I like this. It was a bit weird with the relationship with the student, but what do you expect from this type of series? But it's quite dark, and it definitely look up the trigger warnings, because there's a lot of stuff revolving around sexual assault and rape and stuff like that, so if you're uncomfortable reading about those topics, definitely avoid this one. And then we have A School Frozen in Time 1 to 4. This is, I mentioned before, the story is by the author of Lonely Castle in the Mirror, the original light novel for it, and I would love to see the original light novel for this one released in English, because I did really like this. The artist is the artist who did You'll Lie in April. Then I have my Karo Ozaki section with The God's Lie, and then The Golden Sheep 1 to 3. This is complete. And Mermaid Prince, which is short stories. I think it's 3 different short stories. And then Dogs and Punching Bags. All of her manga tend to have like a sad feel to them, especially this one, and also this one. These two were a bit more less. They were still had their sad moments, but they weren't as like depressing as these two. But yeah, I really like Kawasaki. I haven't read Immortal Rain, which was like an old shoujo series, but that one's out of print. And we have Blood on the Tracks 1 to 6. This is nowhere near up to date. But I really like the series and they're super quick reads. I just really need to get around to getting more of this. She was overshooting. And now we're down to the final layer on the bottom. Let's head over to the end again. Here we go. And at the back, we have all of my steamship apart from the mountain world, which I showed before. So here behind Manga is Outright Beauty and the Beast. This one is trashy, but I enjoy it. It's the plot's not great, but I definitely like it. Then Game Between the Suits, I really like this one. This one's more like, not as explicit, but it's still very good. It's a good josei. Then we have I'll Never Be Your Crown Princess and I'll Never Be Your Crown Princess Betrothed. So that's 1 to 3 and then 1 to 2. That's one I don't tend to like isekai very much, and I don't tend to like villainess stuff very much. But if it's a steamship, I tend to like it. I don't know why sex makes me enjoy these series more. It just does. But yeah, I like that one. I did used to have the Villainess and the Demon Knight, but I did not enjoy that one, so I dropped it after 2 volumes and I got rid of it. Because I don't own every single steamship ever released. Some I got rid of because I didn't like, and others I didn't bother correcting because they're like Omegaverse, and I don't like Omegaverse. So I don't have them all, but I have a lot. These are like the first 4 steamship titles that were announced, and that Ladies on Top is completed 6. That one's about a relationship where the woman is the more dominant one in the bedroom, and she likes to, it includes some pegging. Then we have I Can't Refuse S 1 to 6, that's also complete. That one, she is training to become a mistress in order to pay back her dad's debts. Then we have Revenge Mrs. Wrong, which doesn't really fit the steamship line because it's not really a romance, nor is it really that steamy. It's more of like a revenge family drama with 2 twin sisters who absolutely do appalling things to each other, and this man who kind of gets caught in the middle of it, and you feel sorry for him, and then it gets to the end and you're like, why did I feel sorry for this dude? And then we have My Boss is a Giant. He massages my every need with enormous skill. That one was alright. It wasn't my favourite, but I quite liked it. Then we have Before You Discard Me, I'll Have My Way With You. That one I quite enjoy. That's another like isekai one. Hero for the Shadow Hero, I don't think is isekai. I think that one's just fantasy, but that one's cute. Love by Two Fiancés, that one's completed 3 volumes. I haven't got volume 3 yet, but that one's like a guy who has dissociative identity disorder and his fiancée. A Suitable Fetish is a office romance which focuses on different people and their fetishes. Then we have Guilty Smile. That's completed 3. I have ordered 2 and 3. Just because then it'll be finished. That one's the same artist as the Hades one, but not. It's a different author, I think. Loving Moondog. That one's a dog groomer and a guy who can turn into a dog. That one's not super steamy. It's kind of it's quite tame. I know this one has a spin-off that is, I think, more steamy. Seduced by the Demon King, I really like that one. Shindokun's Tight Squeeze, I really like that one. That's the most explicit steamship I've ever read. Completely no censorship whatsoever, and she had a minge, which is super refreshing to see a woman with a minge in manga, because you see men with pubes, but you don't really see women with pubes, so I'm pleasantly surprised. And it's quite atomically correct, because apparently this author used to write doujins, and yes. Then Adored by a Elite Officer, that one was quite cute. I like the relationship in that one. And before moving on to the front, I do want to finish the steamship because it does go on the next shelf. Okay, let's move you a minute. So here we have You Will Become My Wife. This one is not popular, but I thought it was okay. It wasn't great, but I didn't hate it as much as everyone else. I thought it was just okay. And Sex Drive, I really like this one. It's like sex espionage. His seductive whisker, he's not a cat. His seductive whisper, his sensual whisper, I'll get it right in a minute. The voice that sets me on fire, that one's about a woman who has a fetish for sexy voices. Don't hold back, called Hades. This is the Hades one, which really should be next to the other one because it's the same artist. Virgin Marriage, this one was super cute and wholesome. It's about a married couple who have been married for a year but have never had sex, and they're trying to like get into it. I also have Another World. This is completed too, and I did enjoy this one too. And this one's not Steamship, it's just Josei. This is Yanoi Tsukihiko's Happy Hell. That one is next to the Steamship, but it's not actually a steamship. It's just a Josei, it's not steamy at all. Let's put Kanade back. And her nice little pano. Okay, now we can go back to the show. At the front here is I'll Have a Ride 1 to 13, that is complete. And then Love Me Not 1 to 12 complete, and Sakura Sakura 1 to 6, that is not complete. This is the Aosaki Saka section. I haven't read Strawberry Edge because I can't find it, but I would get it if I could find it. But yeah, my favourite is probably Love Me Not. And then I'll Have a Ride. I like both of these a lot. This one I like, but it's not quite as good. But I do really like it still. Also, I'm a Teacher 1 and 2. This is comedy school shoujo by the creator of Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun. But this one is a shonen. It's about a manga author who writes shoujo manga, and she fancies him, and she asks him out, but he thinks she's asking him for an autograph, and she ends up becoming his assistant. It's very good. This is, again, one of the few manga I actually find funny. It takes the shit out of shoujo tropes, and I like things that take the shit out of things that I like. So yeah, very good. And here's to Monkun's B-side 1. I do want to get more of this because I did really like the first one. And now we'll go back over here to Something's Wrong With Us. 1 to 19 complete. 16 was originally the end, and these were like continuations. So this one is kind of like its own contained story, and these two are like follow on from each other. But I really like Something's Wrong With Us. It's really good. It's a Josei, like, revenge sort of story where she's trying to... She used to work... Her mother was a patissier, and they worked for this family. And her mother ended up getting arrested because she was blamed for killing the master of the shop, like the young boy's dad. And her mum ended up dying in prison, and now she's back to learn the truth because she knows her mum was innocent and that she didn't do it. Yeah, very good. Really recommend that one. Then Doomsday Was My Dog. I probably won't be continuing this. I wasn't that keen on it, but I keep it because, again, it's a dog manga. The dog can talk and is very weird. Who knows, maybe I'll reread it someday and decide I want more. How's Curse is a Josei. This one's quite a sad one. It's about a woman who's recently lost her sister, and now she's in a relationship with her sister's fiance. And obviously that everyone considers that to be kind of taboo because she's dating the person who was going to marry her sister. Cells at Work, that's complete. That's about cells in the body. Cells at Work Black is a more adult, darker version. That's complete. At 7? 8. And then Little Miss P is like another biology one. That one's about periods. And White Blood Cell's got a very dusty hat. Surprisingly, this is actually a seinen manga, and it was written by a man, but it is quite informative. Moving on to the front. Here is Apothecary Diaries 1 and 2, the manga. As I said with the light novel, I don't know whether I want to read more manga or just stick to the anime, because I did really like the anime. I really like season 2. I like the ending parts of season 2. And then Orange, the complete collection. And then Future and To You, Dear One. I know this has a box set now, and the volumes in the box set do look better than these, but I did really like Orange, but it's not one that I would really want to have, like, multiple copies of. I suppose I could get the box set and sell these ones, but I'm perfectly happy just to keep these. But yeah, I did like Future more than TUDO1 because I like Sewer. And then we have The Girl from the Other Side by Nagabe. 1 to 12 complete. 12 is like short stories. Again, this is another one that has a very, very nice collector's edition. The hardcover, they look beautiful, but I don't really want to have 2 editions, and the hardbacks are quite large, and I have more space for smaller stuff, so I'd rather just keep these than get the hardbacks, although they do look very nice. It was an interesting series. Slice of life, fantasy, kind of dark themes to it, but yeah, it was a bit confusing, but understandable. Then My Girlfriend's Child, 1 to 8. This finishes at 9, and then 10 as side stories. But yeah, really like this one. Super nice drama. It's very sad as well about a teen pregnancy. Fire in His Fingertips. This is another, well, it was Ghost Ship, but it's now classed as Steamship. This is not with the other steamships because obviously it's a completely different size. It's kind of close to them. Yeah, this is like, was one of the first smutty josei that we got in English. There's a lot better options out now, but I do still enjoy this one. Day Report About My Witch Senpai 1 to 4. This is a very cute one. It was originally 2 volumes and then it was continued. My Happy Marriage 1 to 4. I think 5 is out, but I haven't picked it up yet. Because I do read the light novels and I've watched the anime. I do like the artwork from the manga though. And then Romy Casamura, this is one of my favourite seinens. It's very good. It's like a drama, coming of age, about middle school students who will all have some sort of troubled life, who end up going into this castle, and they say if you find the key you can have a wish granted, but if you find the key the castle will be closed, so they decided to put it off as long as possible because they feel like very relaxed and at home in this castle. And then final shelf, almost done. And here behind Pikachu, we have The Ascendant Doctor of the Moonflower Kingdom 1 to 8. That one is not up to date. I think I've ordered 9, but I really like that one. Very enjoyable. It's like historical, medical drama with some comedy. Boys Abyss is a very, very... it's a drama where everything goes wrong and nothing is happy. And it's very, very bleak. And I like reading it. I like seeing how much of a train wreck it's going to become. I've got 1 to 7. I think I've just ordered 8. Insomniacs After School 1 to 9. That is, I think, finished at 14. It's a like slow slice of life seinen series about astronomy, and it's not super focused on the astronomy. It's more just slice of life about these 2 teenagers who are insomniacs. But super relaxing read. Then we have Braid Girl 1 and well, that's an understatement 1. The second volume's out for both of those now, but I haven't grabbed them yet. I really liked Love That's an Understatement. And this one is about a girl with a prosthetic leg competing in track and field. Then Oku 1 to 19. That's complete. I got that in a bundle on eBay because I really like the anime and I wanted to read the manga, but I haven't actually started reading it yet, which is why Volume 1 is in here. This is all I have left to read. I've run out of stuff. I'm waiting for Sci-Fi. As I said, I'm halfway through Mars. I'll probably finish that tonight. And then we have Usotoki Rhetoric 1 to 10. That's complete. This is Shoujo mystery set in the 1960s, 1950s, something round about then. Then Tales of the Tendo Family 1 to 4. Really like this one. Very interesting series. Then we have No Longer Helen 1 to 8. This one's finished at 10. I think 10 might have just come out. And then same creator is My Special 1 to 8. This one I think is finished at 11 or 12. Rupsic Ellie 1 to 12 complete. Really love this one. Really love Ellie. Again, she's a character that's like perverted and vulgar without being sexualized, so really love that. She's a great character. Really love this series a lot. And then my website with the Amanda comic level 999 1 to 5, that's up to date. And lastly, the contract with the Apocalypse Monster, which this one was very wordy, very dialogue heavy, and the majority of Volume 1 was just an info dump of the world building, and I think maybe I'm gonna give Volume 2 a go because I think it'll be better, because I might have gotten all of like that out of the way. But if Volume 2 is the same, I'm just gonna drop the series because I like the characters, but if it's just gonna be info dumpy all the time, I'm not gonna enjoy it. But anyway, that is it for the correction tour. That is all my manga on all of my shelves. And yeah, and all the stuff over there. Just one last go over, and the stuff in there. And I hope you enjoyed the video and seeing my entire collection as it is of this year. And I will see you for another collection tour this time next year, and I'll see you for a haul when my sci-fi arrives. So yeah, I will see you then. Bye bye.